Good.
Shalom, we out here once again giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua B'Shem Tabbadat. Today's date is March 14, 2020 year of prophecy. And we're in the midst of the whole coronavirus thing. It has become global. And the king of Babylon declared this whole nation, Babylon, he called for a national emergency. So we're in that time. Anybody got any precepts?
I got some.
Go ahead.
Exodus 9 and 14. But I will at this time send all my plagues upon thy heart,
Beautiful.
and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. But now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And in very deed for this cause have I raised thee up, but to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all of the earth.
Where'd you read at it?
Exodus the 9th chapter, 14 verse 16.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 8. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Shall we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he had given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer.
Yeah. So we in that time. Man. Now the word sword is a killing instrument. It could be the gun. It could be a plague. It could be corona. And that's the Most High speaks in parabolic talk. And also remember this, that all the curses. Give me Deuteronomy 30 verse 7. All the curses that fit us. Now, certain times we're gonna read certain precepts, and it's gonna apply to Israel. The curses of Israel, the plagues on Israel. So you might say, well, let's talk about the Israelites. We're not talking about the Edomites. But guess what? Now it's talking about the Edomites. It applies to Edomites. And here's the scripture that proves it.
Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
Which persecuted us. Read that again.
And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee.
And on them that hate us. They don't love us. Somebody hold on deck Ezekiel 35 and 5, but start at the top. Read that again, please.
This is Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
Which persecuted us. Read that one more time.
And
I like the way that, you listen to a song and you like a particular part of the song, you keep pulling it back, or you watch the boxing match, you see the way the guy hit you, bring it back, you want to see it a couple of times. Well, let's see that a couple of times. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies.
Whose enemies? Israel's enemies. Start from the top. Start from the first verse.
This is Deuteronomy the 30th chapter. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse.
The blessing and the curse. So what is that talking about? Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. The first 15 verses are dedicated. If you do the right thing according to the Most High, you obey him, you do his will, you're going to be blessed above all nations. From the 16th verse on down to the end, which is a lot more passages, a lot more precepts, a lot more verses. He said, if you don't obey the Most High, this is what's going to happen to you. And you read it, curses shall you be in the city, curses shall you be in the field. You shall put a yoke of iron upon their neck. You shall go from one place to another place in slave ships, So the Esau gonna go do the same thing. So if you ask, is Esau gonna go on slave ships? And the answer is yes. Now let's keep reading from the 30th chapter.
Yep. And it says, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all nations.
Start from the top again.
Deuteronomy chapter 30. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have
So
set,
now we're getting ready to get blessed. Go ahead.
which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord thy power have driven thee, and shalt return unto the Lord thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I have commanded thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether the Lord thy power have scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the uttermost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And the Lord,
So we're gonna be fetched from America. So we don't gotta go to Ghana or back to Israel. You know, we're supposed. The reason why we're here is there's a reason why we're here, because we're supposed to condemn this place, man. We're here to prophesy. You know.
Yeah. I got a precept
Go
for you. Jeremiah 28:9. It says, Jeremiah 28:9. The prophet. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is it. Jeremiah 28:7. Nevertheless, hear thou. Oh, that's what you read? Oh, that's the spirit. Hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people, the prophets. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Give me right quick, Baruch 5, and we can start at the 5th verse.
yeah. Baruch chapter 5, verse 5. Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east, and behold thy children gathered from the west unto the east.
So where are we at on this planet, on this globe? We're on the west side, so we're gonna have to be gathered back to go back to the east side. If you go back there on your own, you're going off, man. You know? Got a precept?
No, I was just thinking about, plus Yahweh Shai is going to gather the elect from the fall. So where are you going to? Yahweh Shai, oh, you got that? Oh, okay, well, go ahead.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall
Now,
see.
why are they gonna mourn?
Because
Because they're gonna see them. They're gonna all hell is.
all hell is going.
And this whole coronavirus thing is creating a panic.
Yeah,
Hey
panic,
man, I was looking for what do you call it? Hydrogen peroxide, man. I went to like 6 different stores. You know, and the meat section, the bread section, and especially the toilet section, man. Everybody's buying up toilet paper, man, like it's going out of style. Go ahead.
It says, and they shall see the Son of Man, Yahushua HaMashiach, coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
So that's how he's coming. The destruction is coming.
Yeah.
He's going to deliver the elect. He's going to beam them up, and then he's going to bring the missiles. Go ahead. And somebody also hold me Revelation 19, verse 11.
Yep.
Isaiah chapter 31, verse 5. As birds flying, so will Yahweh of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over it, he will preserve it.
He will preserve it. Okay.
Here's up for you.
Go ahead.
1 Thessalonians 4:16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the heavenly Father, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words.
The Comforter.
So, and that's going to happen all over the world. As Yahweh Shai come with the chariots, the elect are going to be taken right up, just like it says right here.
Yep.
So we ain't got to be going here and there to
Well,
and fro, man.
anybody that teaches that, you know, I ain't mentioning no name, but right. Talking about we gotta go back to Ghana. So that close in. First of all, you haven't been out there on the highways and the byways, man.
Yeah,
Just
how
like
long
your
has
boy
it been,
Johanna, man.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Johanna? Yeah, what I say?
Oh, that is
Go
true.
ahead, read
That's
that.
true.
Read that.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 11.
Read that out.
True.
And I saw heaven open.
Read it out.
I'm coming up with a new sound. I'm saying, read that out.
Read that out.
Go ahead.
Revelation 19, verse 11. And I saw heaven open,
Read
and
it out.
behold, a white horse, and he that sat
He
upon
ain't
him.
coming back on Pegasus, man.
Pegasus, yeah.
So you can understand. Okay? But some simple ass clown will read that and say, oh, he's coming back on top of Pegasus. He ain't coming back on Pegasus, man.
Yeah.
What's that?
From the record.
No, I was just saying it.
All right. Go ahead, read on.
And I
He's
saw
coming back on a ship. And these scholars, that's why Vocab can't see it. He can't see, he thinks we're crazy. He said these guys actually think they're gonna be superheroes. You know, they're gonna fly, they're gonna have capes, and they actually think that that the Lord is coming back on UFOs, you know?
I got a video right here.
Go ahead.
I got a video right here. It says UFO bigger than Earth's.
Well, I did a
Bigger
video
than
on
Earth.
that. Looked like a wheel was in a wheel.
Yep. I kept saying that.
I did a video on that.
I gotta check it out.
Just in case you didn't know it.
I
you
didn't
know?
know.
Yep.
But yep.
That wheel within the wheel in the heavens is like maybe 30 to 50 times bigger than the earth.
Yeah.
So that ship was so big it can actually beam the earth up.
Yeah.
You know?
The
And
whole
then,
earth,
and then it says in Revelation in 11th chapter, it said that we're gonna be beamed up in one ship. Somebody
imagine
give me that. Revelation 11. You can start at the 10th verse.
Well, the
As a
ship-
matter of fact, start at 8.
The ship Ezra saw, it looked like a mountain,
Yep.
right? And he looked for where the mountain was cut out. He couldn't find it because it wasn't a mountain. It was a ship.
There's some big ass mountains, you know, on this planet. Go ahead, Al.
It's like, before you came, brother was just showing me the pictures of Ezekiel. Look just like the.
Oh yeah. It was like a wheel within a wheel. Yep.
Just
Yep.
This is, Revelation 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt,
This is it right here. America. Go ahead.
where also our Lord was crucified.
Our Lord was crossed out. Go ahead.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not
Right.
suffer-
See us in this dead state because we don't know who we are. You know? And back in slavery, you didn't know who you were because the master whipped it out of you. You know? All you know is that when he told you what you are as a Negro, you were a Negro. Then you became a colored boy. Then you became black. Then you became African American. You know? Go ahead.
It says, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in
Because they're
graves.
not actually dead. They're walking around in a dead state of mind. Go ahead. And like Trump, you all see the press conference this morning? And he came out there, they had them Uncle Tom come out first. And then he came out there with a black hat on with USA. He looked like he.
Like a zombie.
And first of all, he was talking about how people don't got high energy. Well, where's your fucking energy at, man?
Yep.
Huh? Where's your energy at in the background?
Where you at?
Hero?
Where your energy,
I got
Nero?
a quick precept for you
Go ahead.
about being the dead. Proverbs 21 and 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the
Yeah,
dead.
and we didn't have the understanding that we're the Israelites. Go ahead, read on that.
Verse 10, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them. And
They
make-
were happy that we went down, man, and they know who we are. That's why you had the Assembly of Nations. All them nations, them Arabs, them East Indians, all them nations, when they have their meetings, they all know the status of the Israelites, man. They know that we're the Israelites. Give me 83 and also give me Lamentations of Jeremiah. You know what I want. Go ahead and get it. See, that's how I like it, man.
Yeah.
You know, hey, it's there
Snapping
before I
and
ask
popping.
you,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Psalms chapter 83, verse 1.
See, in the ancient world, you had the kings and you had the what do you call that? The
Standard bearers.
The standard bearers. Yep, you had the standard bearers.
That's
And,
how I like
the
it.
standard bearer knew
Yep.
what you needed, man.
Yep.
You know?
He knew what if you need a lance or a spear or
He
a dagger
He knew it. Yep.
or a
Yep.
bow and arrow.
That's it.
Like a good caddy.
Exactly.
Yep.
Before they
Exactly.
call for the, give me the number
That-
9.
that-
Give me
that's
the
it.
number.
That's
They
it.
already know.
That's
Oh,
it.
you're gonna need a number 5 for that.
That's it. That's it. They'll give something they
They're watching the game just like the player.
That's it. Because caddies are golfers too.
They're in tune.
That's it. Go ahead.
Psalms 83 verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Most High. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Yeah, because that's what they're mad at. That's why vocab came around, you know, going to the different camps. Because his thing is, you guys are not the Israelites, man. You know? But we are the Israelites.
That's right.
How do we know that we're the Israelites? It said the place where it would say, ye are not the children of the Most High. There shall be said that you are the children of the living power. Now, how does that apply to the so-called Jew?
It doesn't.
Because they came over here during the turn of the century with the boat people coming from Europe as so-called Jews. You know?
Yeah, the
That
Lord-
didn't apply. How did we come over here? They didn't bring us here in slavery and say, well, we putting the Israelites in slavery, man. You know? Go ahead, huh?
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, and of Moab, and the Hagareans, Gebel, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher
So it
also,
mentioned Edom, it mentioned Ishmael, it mentioned all these different nations. Go ahead.
Asher also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Japhan, at the brook of Kison,
Go ahead.
which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb. Yea, all their princes as Zeba and as Zalmunna.
You know that part where it says, "Do unto them as Sisera." That was
Captain of the guard.
Judith, right?
Right.
That was that Judith
Damn, what was her name?
that took the spike
Yeah.
and drove it through his skull?
It wasn't
Giles' wife, something like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the judges.
Judge's Con.
Judges,
Yeah. Drew the spike right through his skull.
Yep.
So that's what the prophet, in other words, destroy them. You know, that's just in the history. You know, you got it, brother. You got it.
It said in Psalm 83 verse 12, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High in possession. O Most High, make them like a wheel as a stubble before the wind.
Jake just passed by with a baby. That's his wife, Moabite. That's Jake. And the baby looked like a Moabite, straight up Moabite. Straight up, had a complexion, everything. So they'll look at him, you ain't an Israelite.
Yep.
And Jake looked like everything. And that's the Most High, is beautiful.
Yeah.
Jake, the Most High made Jake look like everybody on the planet Earth.
God.
You know?
That master stroke.
That's it. That's it. Go ahead.
O Most High, make them like a wheel as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
Read that again. And there's what is that in Jeremiah? It's in Jeremiah, I believe it's Jeremiah 50:25, if I'm not mistaken. The burning mountain. What is that at? Okay, good. 51:25. Read that again,
Psalms 83 verse 13. O Most High, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So what does mountains represent in the scriptures?
Government.
So it's not just going to be one government that's going to be on fire. the nations are going to be on fire, but they're going to but the smoke is going to clear, and they're going to be able to rebuild back those lands like Russia and Israel and the different lands.
Europe, some place in Europe.
The Arab world, Arab nations. The only one that's going to be burned down and not raised back up is Babylon the Great.
That's Daniel 7, right?
Daniel 7. Yeah, well, let's go to that. That's beautiful. That's a good one. Go ahead, bring it on now.
Psalm 110, verse 5, the Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the
Where
day
you
of
reading
his...
from?
Psalm 110,
Go ahead.
verse 5, the Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries.
We shall wound the heads, the leaders of many countries. That's when your society goes down, when they get their head. And that's why Darius, he said, he put out the order to kill the king of Babylon. And what happened? They just took the kingdom over. They didn't have to rebuild something and walls being knocked down and all that. They just went in there, surgically killed his ass, and then they just took shop. Like, what's it saying? Put up shop.
Set up shop.
That
Yeah.
very
Set up
night.
shop. Huh?
That very night
That
from
very
the handwriting on the wall.
Exactly. But so now, when you people say, you Christians, when you say that Isaiah 14, Isaiah 13, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51 is talking about ancient Babylon. No, it says in Jeremiah 50 or 51, it said that it's going to fall like Sodom and Gomorrah. How did Sodom and Gomorrah fall? By fire coming from heaven. That didn't happen in ancient Babylon, man. And see, that's why you Christians always watch us, man. You be watching us on YouTube, and you try to find out where we at so you can come out and confront us, and then you make yourself look like a damn fool because you're not schooled and trained in the scriptures, man. You small in the Bible.
You small in the Bible.
Small in the Bible. Go ahead, read on.
Psalms 83, verse 14. As the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire, so persecute them with the tempest. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh.
Yeah, because everybody gonna bow down to us. See, it's not just about the Most High sitting on the throne. It's about us sitting on thrones too. It's about us sitting on thrones too.
That's the part of the reward.
Exactly.
Sir,
Go ahead.
this is Revelation 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads.
Now, how many different camps can break that down? Now, Al-Azhar, Sakari can break it down. Some other camps can break it down, but a lot of you camps can't even break that down. Read that again, please.
This is Revelation 20 and
Talking
4.
about the mark of the beast is Christianity and the fucking embargo. Are you crazy? King Solomon had the mark of the beast. That's a man that doesn't know the scriptures, period, man. Go ahead, read that again, please.
Revelation 20 and 4, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years.
That's it. That's that 1,000-year rulership. Go ahead.
Revelations 3 and 21. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne.
Precept for you. 2 Timothy 4 and 8. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing.
Will you read that?
2 Timothy 4 and 8.
Yeah, hey, the crown and the throne is synonymous one with the other.
Yeah. 2 Timothy 4 and 8. Well, let me start the 7th verse. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his
And
appearing.
he said that day. So Paul is still waiting for that crown, man. He's still back out here doing the work. You know?
Yep.
I gotta pick these up.
Go ahead.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 16. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord Yahweh's hand. With his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them.
That goes with Second Ezra. What is that?
I was
The
just thinking
second
about
chapter.
that, about second Ezra 2,
Two.
verse 40, around there. Somebody get that.
That's beautiful, man.
Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 12.
No, you got to get the scripture I said get.
Right.
Read what I tell you to read.
That's right.
That's,
High priest Ariel would say.
Yeah.
You read what I tell you to read.
And he wouldn't even look at you. He'd just say it. You know.
And we used to be speaking in Harlem, 125th Street. He used to come down with the cowboy hat.
yeah.
One boy gonna take. He
Yep.
put the swing on.
Put the yeah.
Come with that bow leg walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Con.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is Second Ezra, chapter 2, verse 43. And in the midst of them, there was a young man.
And the brother had a dream that he saw us, and he saw 5 other men, but one of the men that he recognized was High Priest Ariel. Yep. Go ahead.
It says, and in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest.
That's your Howard shot.
Yeah.
That's how I'm
right.
going.
Yeah, that's
That's
how
your Howard shot.
Con.
Go ahead. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, brother? All
Right.
No,
It says, and upon every one
young
of their
brothers, they
heads.
come out, you know. Go ahead. You know them young brothers.
Con from me. Yep.
Yep. Probably going to the camp. Go ahead.
And upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, so I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal. And
Read that again.
Wow.
it says, He answered and said
It says,
unto
you
me,
know what precept go with that, right?
First,
Get it.
that's how I like it.
It says, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh while Yahweh shied. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then
Oh,
said,
now are they crowned and receive palms. What other scriptures come in mind? Revelation 7, get that.
Revelation
Get
7.
that. And go right to the point. You know what? I'm sorry. Revelation 7, verse 1. Let's go into that. Go ahead. Let's go through it quick. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on the tree, nor any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal.
That wind represents a hot wind, a nuclear wind, the destruction. So this place is not going to be destroyed, except that the 144,000 are sealed. Okay. But besides that, the mark of the beast has to be made manifest as far as the chip is concerned. Go ahead.
Having the
And look, when they put them chipping stations out, you know, when they put them chipping stations out, they might have you drive up in your car and get the chip. Like up there in New Rochelle.
Right.
They got a thing where they're testing,
Yeah.
and they got a six lanes with 200 cars a day. You can come and they might do that with the chip.
They don't have to get out the car.
They don't have
Nothing.
to get out the car, you know?
having the seal of the living power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So who's that dealing with? The children, dealing with the children of Israel.
Gone.
The sons of Israel. Go ahead.
Beginning with the elect.
Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000, Of the tribe of
So
Reuben,
is Judah still around?
Yep.
The tribe of Judah still around?
right.
Go ahead.
of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000.
Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher,
Gad are the North American Indians. Go ahead.
of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000.
Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000.
Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000.
Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000.
Oh, I was thinking about Issachar, right? And I said this years ago. The Mexicans call themselves what? What do they call themselves? Aztecas, right?
Azteca, yeah.
Azteca, Issachar. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Why would they be? Why would they call themselves Aztecas?
Yeah.
Which is really saying Issachar.
Right.
Kind of similar, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, con.
Yeah, but Osiris in the Hebrew sounds different if you say it in the Hebrew as compared to the English.
Yeah.
Because remember, the Hebrew got bastardized, man.
Right.
Yep.
So Azteca makes Azteca, Yashaka,
Shakar,
Azteca.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Makes sense.
Because when I went down to Mexico City, they had the pyramids, and they didn't have Spanish written on it. They had this ancient language, and they had certain names of different parks. There's a park down there called Chapultepec Park. That's not a Spanish word.
Yeah, that sounds like
word-
Hebrew.
Right. That
Yeah.
was Hebrew, you know?
And then you got the stone, the 10 Commandments, Los Lunas.
Los Lunas.
Even though it's in New Mexico,
Yep.
but New Mexico
Well,
used to be
that's
part
what
of.
the Mexican was.
Right. Used
Because
to be part of
Esau
Mexico.
Esau took it over.
Yeah.
And they knew it was Mexico, and they said, well, this is New Mexico.
Yeah, New
Because they
Mexico.
took it over,
Because they took it over,
you know?
like they always do.
Goddamn devils.
Oh,
Hey, New England.
they call
you
the
know?
lands after Psalm 49:11.
That's
They
it.
call the
That's
lands
it.
after.
That's it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, verse 8, of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000.
Now Joseph is what? Ephraim. Go ahead.
Numbers
Of
130.
the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, all nations and kingdoms and people and tongues stood before the throne.
No, because that's what them Christians like to
Yeah,
use.
yeah.
Great
All
multitude.
nations and kindred.
Well, that's how they get in.
Con.
They're always looking for a way in, man. They're always looking for a side door, a back door, man.
Yep. There ain't
But
no
you
side
ain't
door.
getting in. You ain't getting in, man.
That's right.
Loophole.
That's a video right there.
Yeah,
you ain't getting in. You know?
Looking for a loophole. Ain't no loopholes.
It says, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, Yahushua HaMashiach, clothed with white robes and psalms in their hands.
Quick precept to add to what you're saying. Tobit 13:3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he have scattered us among them.
That's it.
So that's your great multitude.
Also go to St. John 7:35.
735.
Got real quick, Revelation 11:1-2. It
Go
says,
ahead.
but there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein, which is Yasharallah, Israel. Verse 2, but the court which is without the temple, leave out and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. That's talking about the heathen.
Now, back in Israel, you had the inner temple and you had the outer temple, right?
Right.
Now, Israel could go into the inner temple, but the heathens could go into the outer temple. They can't go further.
Right.
Now, what did the Apostle Paul did in Acts 21? He brought the Gentiles into the inner temple, but those Gentiles are actually Israelites.
Israelites, yeah.
But then them Jews, them scribes, and wicked scribes and Pharisees, they wanted to kill them
Yeah,
because they looked at them, even though they were Israelites,
right.
they said, no, y'all are Gentiles because
Right.
you got tattoos on you.
Right, you're not
You're
circumcised.
bald headed.
Right.
You're not circumcised.
The way they were dressed.
Right. What did our Lord say? Cast him out as a Gentile, as a heathen man.
Right.
If he ain't right, then put him out there as a heathen man. How you doing? Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 2, verse 28. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision which is outward in the flesh, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly.
Yeah, because it's in our spirit, man.
Right.
You know, it's not in Esau's spirit.
Oh, I got something to add to that.
Go ahead.
It says,
Read on.
and circumcision is that of the heart in the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise
Oh, and heart and the spirit. Give me Romans 8 verse 16. That's how we know that we're. How do you know that you're the Israelite?
God.
Because all the prophecies fit us, man.
God.
Right.
A yoke being put upon our neck. You going into slave ships, you know.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
What spirit is it talking about?
The Bible.
The Bible. All right, the scriptures. Go ahead.
Precept that too. Luke 17, 20 and 21. And when he was demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of the Most High should come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of the Most High cometh not with observation, neither shall they say, lo here or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of the Most High is within you.
Within the Israelites. You can't get around that, man.
Yeah.
That's why you demonized us like 4 or 5 months ago. Because you can't deal with us when it comes to sitting down and you get them scholars that come and they play a word game. They play a theological word game.
Right.
They really don't know how to get down in this book, man.
Right. Everything is mechanical with them.
That's it. That's it. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 23 verse 2. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to his 10th generation.
And Esau is a bastard. Yeah, go ahead.
Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. An Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever.
You know what prove Esau is a bastard? The scripture. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
Yep.
Ashdod is what? A seaport city in
That's
Israel.
it. That's it.
Who's that? The so-called Jew.
Yep. Where we at? Let's get back on track. There's a bunch of precepts floating in the air. Let's bring them back. Bring them back. Go ahead.
This is St. John chapter 7, verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go that we should not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles?
Yep. Will he go disperse among the Gentiles to teach the Gentiles? Meaning the Gentiles that he's going to teach are Israelites that are scattered. You know?
Got a precept. 1 Corinthians 12 and 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led.
Even as you were led. That's why them scribes and them Pharisees and them Jews said you Gentiles. That's why they had a hard time with Cornelius coming into the fold.
Yep.
Even including Peter. Because Cornelius was an Israelite, man. Go ahead.
It's Ephesians 2 and 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at that time ye were without Yahushua, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise.
Do me a favor. Somebody look up Commonwealth in the blue letter. Let's see what that means.
Yeah, and you know what? That's like in the law. It said there should be one law to him that is homeborn and one that is born outside of the land, which is they all had rights in Israel, but you had Israelites that were born in Jerusalem, in Israel, that had the rights to those homes and all that. And the ones that were born outside, even though they were a part of Israel, they didn't have the same rights as the ones in Israel.
Unless they said, I want to stay here now. And then what they would do is they would get out a plot of land and say, okay, this is your land. You know, what's in the tribe of Gad or what's in the tribe of... there's a lot to this book, man.
And
it's say this is a fairy tale book. Like them Jakes and comedic dudes. If it's such a fairy tale book, why you always bringing this shit up, man?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, why you always bringing this book? The Bible always comes into play.
Yep.
The Bible always comes into the conversation.
Yep. Shouldn't mess with it at all.
If it's such an insignificant book,
yeah.
You know, why bring it up? Why mention it, man?
Shouldn't mess with it at all.
We don't be bringing up the dead.
Hell no.
Whatever the books that they use.
The book of Akhenaten.
Yeah, them damn books. We don't deal with them books. And them niggas ain't have yet to going back to Africa, man.
Yeah.
If you love Africa so motherfucking much, get on a boat and go back to Africa, man.
The book of
Ain't no
Jebediah.
coronavirus over there, man.
Yeah.
You might get a hit with the Ebola, but you ain't gonna get hit with the coronavirus.
Hey, that's a title for a lesson. If the Bible is such a fairy tale, why is it always in conversation?
They're always talking about it.
Yeah.
They always
Leave it
bash
alone.
the Bible Like it's
Right,
an
right.
insignificant book. But if it's so insignificant, why do you always have to bring it up and read? And they
leave it
actually
alone.
read it. Man.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
read out the scriptures, man.
The book was sold out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, but to do what? To put it on the shelf.
Right.
Because people don't know how to read the book. A lot of motherfuckers just don't know how to read, period.
Damn, blessed is he that
Scripture
readeth.
said, blessed.
Salaki.
Oh, you quoted
That's
it.
it. Go ahead.
This is Hebrews chapter 4,
Salaki,
verse
brother.
12.
That's why these
Nah,
people are
it's
bucking out
no,
over coronavirus, man. If your eyes are open, you would know what the real deal is.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be afraid.
You wouldn't be afraid.
Last
Go
thing,
ahead.
you'd be happy.
Yeah,
You'd
that's
be
it.
the opposite. You'd be happy as hell, man.
This is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword.
If I may say, in the book of Psalms 91, it says, the plague shall not come nigh thy dwelling, man. That's in the Bible.
Oh,
So-
Goshen.
Yeah.
Goshen.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can
if
explain.
this is spiritually Egypt, so where's Goshen? Everywhere where the elect is Goshen. It's not going to touch the elect.
Yeah, we ain't afraid of no damn plagues. It says, it clearly says in Psalm 91, the plague shall not come nigh thy dwelling. Because it says, because thou hast made the most high thy
Read it.
hab-
Go ahead and read
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Psalm
yeah.
91.
Salakia, you know.
Instead of speaking on it, you can read it.
Read it.
Oh, you got it. He got it. He beat you. He beat
Psalm
you.
91,
Get,
verse
get
5.
slow.
That's it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It says,
that's
thou
all
shalt
right.
not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day,
Yeah.
nor for the pestilence that walketh in
Now
darkness.
go to any simple ass Christian and ask them to break this down.
They can't break
They can't break that. They wouldn't be able to start. They'll just come up with some bullshit, man.
it.
Keep
Especially
on
the
coming with
pastor.
That old bullshit. Oh, the pastor. Forget about. First of all, the black church is the biggest joke
Joke on the
going,
planet.
man. Anytime we do a TV show or a movie, it's a comedy. It's a motherfucking comedy at all times. Go ahead.
It says, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday, 1,000 shall fall at thy side.
What does the noonday represent?
They can't break it.
Highest peak of Esau.
Right, is there scriptures on it?
Yeah, Job, when he's eating,
Right.
Most High shall
No,
reign.
that's it. That's all we need.
That's it,
Go
that's
ahead.
it.
You want me to
This
get
is
it?
the high. No. The noonday is when the sun is highest in the sky. Remember in the movie I Am Legend, and he put out that thing on the ham radio or whatever, and he said
Right.
when the sun is
It's
highest in the
highest.
sky. What does that mean? 12 noon.
Yeah.
Okay? Because a day, the highest point of the day is when the sun's straight up and down. That's 12 noon on your watch, right?
Right.
On your clock. So 1 o'clock is the sun, the moon starting to go down, right?
Yeah.
So this is the height of Esau's. Read it again in Psalms.
It says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
This destruction is going to come while they're eating. Job 20.
I got it
All
right
right,
here.
go ahead.
I was quick that time.
Okay, good. Good.
Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency.
That's noontime.
Yep.
That's the well, this whole coronavirus thing. Basically, they're going to reset the currency, man. You know.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. Go ahead.
Job 20 and 22.
Like I said in the video that they might say we got the vaccine. You know, 50% of the people on the earth got this coronavirus. You got the vaccine, but the way you got to get it is you got to get the chip.
Yep.
You know.
Right.
Go ahead.
They're going to work it in there. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about
Okay,
to.
what does the word wicked mean right there? It means the word mal. What is it? Mal.
Aimal.
Which means laborer.
Laborer, yeah. Worker.
Laborer.
Worker. Yeah.
Worker.
Yep.
So you have to know the Hebrew. In order for you to really understand the scriptures, you got to know how to go into the Hebrew. Like you go to some camp, well, we don't deal with the Hebrew. Well, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know? What the hell does that mean?
That's right.
Is
That's
the
right.
wicked gonna come? It means the wicked is gonna come against white
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
don't come against the white man. You know? No, it's talking about the laborers. So what scriptures come to your mind? James 5, man. Because people are starting to wake up to this, man.
Yeah.
And when you deal with the Hebrew, it shows you just how weak the English language is. Hey, the English language can't keep up with the Hebrew, man. Tells you that in the prologue of the Apocrypha. Yeah.
That's what all these protests are all about. Because the majority of those protests are based off of economics.
It's always economics, how they. Oh, I went to this one restaurant. I'll tell you the restaurant, PF Changes. We call it PF Chang's. And I went there a month ago, right? And I got some chicken fried rice. That's what I always get. And the shit was like $10.50 or whatever.
Yeah.
I went a month later, which was like last week or 2 weeks ago. And I went there, and the guy brought me the rice, and he gave me the thing, and it said 12 something.
Damn.
So I said, what happened?
1 week?
Yeah, the price went up. Price went up 2 weeks ago.
Damn.
It went up fucking 20%, over 20%, man.
In a week?
Dollar bill went
Or a
down.
month?
Because it's been that way for a while.
Wow.
It's been $10 and change for a while.
Okay.
Maybe a year or two or
Okay.
whatever.
Right.
But I went and they just jumped the price up 20%, man. And then we raised up all the prices. Now he don't know why the price is raised up.
Right.
We know why the price is raised up because they're putting more. The feds are putting more dollars in the system, and it's bringing the value of the money down.
Devaluing the money.
They're adding more water to the soup.
They're adding more water to the soup.
Yeah,
You know?
that's right.
Or water to the wine. you know?
Water to the wine. Yep.
You go to the restaurant, you get some good wine, and all of a sudden, it doesn't take. This is water.
Right.
After a while, you ain't gonna go no more, and that place is gonna close down.
Yeah, who the hell would go to a bar where they water down the drinks, man? You buy, you want to drink, you pay $20 whatever for the drink, and you drink it. This shit is watery, man. Did you put water,
Hey, they got this candy called Velvets, I think it's called. You ever hear
Oh yeah,
this
yeah.
candy? I remember they used to sell it. It was like a big pack.
Right.
For about, at one time it was 10 cents. You get a big thing of Velvets, right?
Right,
We used to
right,
get it when we were kids.
Right.
I went to this one store, and you know how the gas station, they have all the different candies?
Yeah.
And they had the Velvets, and the shit was like fucking teeny.
Real small.
And the shit was like, I think it was $2.
Damn.
So I said, this is what they, not only do they raise the price up, but they take away
Right.
the
quality.
quantity.
Quantity.
They take away the
Quantity, yeah.
Or whatever in the package, man.
Yeah.
And like potato chips.
Right.
You get potato chips, it's mostly air.
Yeah,
They should
yeah.
call them air chips.
Air chips. Yeah.
You open that motherfucker,
Half the bag is air.
and you got a handful of
Chips.
potatoes.
Yeah. Taters.
Yeah.
Fried taters.
Even that dude Scotty, he said most of the high-end automobiles, the shit's made out of plastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Parts that's supposed to be.
That's why you see a lot of Jake riding around in Mercedes. They don't realize they get a Mercedes because it's cheaper, but it's cheap. It's garbage, man.
It's
It ain't
garbage.
the Mercedes from 20 years ago, man.
Yeah. All the parts that is supposed to be made out of metal to withstand the heat, the shit's made out of plastic. Then you wonder why one day you turn on the car, it don't work like it's supposed to.
Yeah. Hey, they used to have the now and laters, the big 9-pack. I mean, they were kind of fat for about 10 cents.
I remember that.
Now you get them, they like half the size of what they used to be. They're smaller.
Probably like $2.
Probably, yeah. I don't know how much they are now, but they're
I remember they
expensive.
used to have the mom and pop stores,
Big.
and they had the penny can,
Oh yeah.
and you can get like
Oh yeah. Right.
UFOs, right? You can get there's actually UFOs, candy, like
Yeah.
Then they had the paper. They had this thing called dots. So you got a long piece of white paper, and you had dots.
Oh, yeah.
candy,
Oh, yeah,
and
right,
you get a big long piece of paper for a penny. They used to call it penny candy. A penny, you drop the penny, you don't even pick it up, man.
Oh, now,
They
yeah.
had the Swedish fish.
Oh, yeah,
They used to
yeah.
sell those
That was-
for a penny.
That was the
Had to
shit.
buy a whole bunch of
Alexander the Grapes. I got a quick precept.
Oh yeah, I remember with the box.
Yeah.
With
The lemon
with
heads.
the Trojan. With
Yeah,
the Trojan.
yeah.
Trojan.
Yeah, the lemon heads and the hot
But people don't
tamales.
understand that. People don't understand how inflation works.
Right.
No, they
They
don't.
don't understand how inflation works. They don't understand how deflation works.
Right.
And
everything. And when the money starts being devaluated, so does the quantity and the quality of the food.
Everything.
I got a quick precept, Apostle. Leviticus 19:35. You shall do no unrighteousness. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment.
She just bounced right up.
Yeah. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meat yard, in weight, or in measure. Just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin shall you have. I am the Lord your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt.
Yeah, but Esau didn't get the memo.
Con.
You know, Esau is just a damn devil. He did it all. But he's a master at telling you that he's not the devil.
Con.
He's a master at suing you for calling him the devil.
Right.
When you are the fucking devil, man.
That's what you are.
And that's why I was pondering on what is it, Revelation 20, where it says that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. They gave you all, don't just call him the devil.
Right.
Give him all the names.
Yeah.
Give him all the accolades.
All that.
Devil
You know?
and Satan.
That old serpent, which is the
old
devil,
serpent
and
serpent.
Satan.
Old serpent.
Satan.
Now, what is
Devil,
that talking
Satan.
about? Oh, it's
Yeah.
talking about the spiritual demon. No, it's not talking about the spiritual demon. The spiritual demon, Satan, is in order with the Most High.
Con.
That's right. He's a son of
And the
the.
Christians don't understand that either.
Yeah, he's a son of the Most High. I got
Hey, when you
precept
break
for
the words down, it makes sense because Satan means adversary. Who's the biggest adversary to the Most High here on the planet? Esau.
Esau.
Because everything that they do is adverse to the Most High.
The Most High created him to be adverse
Yeah.
to him.
That's right.
To back you up, Apostle, Job 2:1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. So what does that make Satan? A son of God.
I got a precept on Slack. Yeah, because you have said that Esau didn't get the memo. So this is second Peter 2 verse 5. It says, and spare not the old world, but save Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. And Esau living ungodly, but he didn't get the memo. So
He
what's gonna
didn't get the memo that the missiles are going to take his ass out, man.
burn his ass
Oh, and the king of Babylon, Donald J. Trump, he banned any European coming into America, and they're mad at him, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, scripture came to mind.
They shall hate-
Revelation 17, man.
They shall hate the war.
But you know what? I found out that the British could come in. But wait a
Right.
minute, ain't that a Europe? But the British just broke off from the European Empire.
Oh, right.
Europe.
Yeah.
The
Union.
EU.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
That's heavy.
So ultimately, man, all those EU nations, he's gonna do something. He's gonna be president again, man. He's gonna be president again.
Yeah, 'cause-
hands down. Because they're not gonna put they ain't gonna put Creepy Joe up in there, man. You know?
The saga got to continue.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's like a soap opera.
That's it.
It ain't done yet. It's got to continue. You know.
Well, he's narrow, in
Yeah.
my estimation, you know?
I got a precept, Pastor Tar.
ahead.
Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord.
He's over there in the land of Israel, but he got kosher pigs and gay parades over there, man.
It
There's
said,
all kind of adultery going on.
Lord, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see and be ashamed for their envy at the people. Yea, the fire of thine enemies shall devour them. Lord, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou also hast wrought. Lord, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou also hast wrought all our works in us.
Quick precept for you. Romans 9:21 and 22. Have not the potter power of the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
That's Esau. So the Most High got his suffering because he set up the prophecy. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
This is Proverbs 16:4. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
That's it. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon 15:7. For the potter tempering soft earth fashioneth every vessel with much labor for our service. Yea, of the same clay he maketh both the vessels that serve for clean uses, and likewise also such as serve to the contrary. But what is the use of either sort? The potter himself is the judge.
Yeah, when the Most High is the ultimate potter.
God,
He's the potter on high.
he's a pot on high. Yeah, that's right.
And you take that clay and you make a vase for the flowers, and you make a plate,
Yeah.
and then you make something to go to the bathroom in.
Yep.
You know?
Well, there's a song, you know that song, 100 Pounds of Clay, came out in the early 60s. I think the artist was Gene McDaniels. He took 100 pounds of clay. It's showing you right there. We made,
Like
you
you
know,
make certain
yeah.
things for iron and certain things for the sun. Yep, that's it. Go ahead. Jeremiah 18. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 18, verse 1. The word which came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Arise and go down to the potter's house, and there will I cause you to hear my words. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels. And the vessel that he made of clay was marked in the hand of the potter. So he made it again another vessel, as seemed good to the potter to make it. Then the word of the Lord came to me, saying, O house of Israel, cannot I do with you as this potter, said the Lord?
Right.
Behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in my hand, O house of Israel.
Yeah, because the first piece he messed it up. You messed up the first piece.
Right,
The
right. Throw it
second
out.
piece,
Yeah,
you did it right.
Yeah, yeah, made it perfect.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it on that.
And that's why in Romans, the 9th chapter, it says, "Who has resisted his will?" You know, it says,
Well,
shall-
Esau's trying to resist his will.
Con.
Esau's trying. And look, the Most High set us up to explain this to you, man. Hey, did you get the memo? You know that the Most High set up the prophets up to the nations. You know what I want? Jeremiah 1 and 4. We're here we're the prophets to the nations. We're the prophets over Esau. We're the prophets over Moab. You know, we're the prophets over Jacob. You know, we're the prophets over everybody. Man, we're not just the prophets of Israel, man. We're not here to just deal with our own tribe. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 1 and 10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms.
So start at 4.
Oh, okay. Verse 4. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Now you can jump to the 10th verse.
Verse 10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and
See,
over the
I have
kingdoms.
set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms. Because we're telling you what kingdom is going to come up and what kingdom is going to come down. And this is the kingdom that's coming down.
right.
Your
And
kingdom.
this is the kingdom that Yahushua is coming to take down when he comes back.
Yeah, the next kingdom to come is Yahushua's kingdom.
That's why it says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of the
Esau don't
follow.
want to hear that. He don't want to hear. He don't want to accept. He doesn't want to admit that he's an Edomite.
Yep.
He doesn't want to admit that the Most High is going to come for the children of Israel. The
Come.
children of Israel. He doesn't want to admit that we're the Israelites. He doesn't want to admit that America's Babylon the Great.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to admit that this place is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. And it's written over and over
Yep.
and over and over again in the scriptures.
Yep.
In many different ways to many different prophets.
Everything in the scriptures and prophecy points to this the so-called white men that's in rulership being the Edomites. Everything.
But they don't want to see it.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking see it, man.
Yeah.
You are gonna see it, you know?
Precept Apostle.
You're
Psalm.
in denial, man. You are in denial.
He
Go
ain't
ahead.
talking about the river either.
We ain't talking about the river.
Right,
either,
that's right.
Psalm 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Which is Esau.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
I always use the example of Vocab Malone. When you tell him something, he stops his ears to it.
Yeah, you don't want to
Right.
hear it.
He don't want to hear it.
They are like the deaf adder, which is a poisonous snake, that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. And we're those charmers, bringing out this word. And we are charming wisely because this is the wisest knowledge on the planet Earth, the Holy Scriptures,
You know how we're charming ever so wisely
breaking it down.
because we're breaking it down. We're going
Yeah.
precept upon precept.
Prophesying.
Yep.
Yeah, when you say John the Baptist is compared to a red-tailed squirrel,
Oh Lord.
that's you're not charming
That's
wisely,
the
man.
ISUPK. And
Yeah.
the Lord ain't deal. That's the house of Saul anyway.
Yeah.
The ISUPK is the house of Saul.
You're not charming wisely.
That's the
man.
house of Saul. And they're not part of the house of David. No scripture where the Most High going to rebuild the house of Saul. Okay?
Nope.
Go ahead.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 16. He shall suck the poison of asp, the viper's tongue shall slay him.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Psalms 52 and 3. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Salah. Thou lovest all the devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. The Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living.
That's Esau.
I got one.
That's Esau. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 13:23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
You're accustomed to doing evil. You know?
And they come and they come out as soon as they're born speaking lies.
You got yeah. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I got one of Esau. Psalms 55 verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
And somebody hold on that Jeremiah 49 verse 7. We're going to read all the way down to verse 22.
Quick precept for you.
Go ahead.
Psalm 31, 17 and 18. Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave. Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous.
Read that again, please.
Psalm 31 and 17 and 18. Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave. Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous.
And that's what they did.
That's what they do, yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll
False accusers. That's what the word devil means. The word devil,
Slander.
right? The word devil, it goes back to the word diabolos, which means slander. False accuser.
Yeah, and then they put the bottle to their neighbor's lips. They make Jake go off, and then they accuse him to the father.
Go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of Hamashiach Yahushai. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, is accused them before our power day and night.
Yep. And they do it day and night. So they got priests. Day and night is putting up prayers against us, man.
Yep. They're trying to get that birthright back.
That's right.
Yep, that's why they do it. You wanted Jeremiah 49, 7?
Yeah.
Jeremiah 49 and 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the Dan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him.
You can speak on it too if you want.
Come. All right.
Elaborate.
Back in Jeremiah 49 and 7, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? And basically, it says what it means, meaning the wisdom of the so-called white man. All his products are failing, his society is failing.
They're not going to figure out a way to get out of this dilemma.
Yeah.
This quandary.
Yeah, everything that he's.
The camp down the street.
Oh yeah, Tracy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said, yeah, I know who y'all are. Y'all GMS, right? I need a blessing, man. I need a blessing. And he just go off.
Okay. All right.
Hey, well, that proves that them celebrities know.
That's it. You're watching this, man.
Yeah.
And you know what this shows too? This shows that the Most High has a sense of humor, because he's being facetious with these devils. Basically, he said, what happened to your wisdom? Is there, look at how it's worded. Is wisdom no more in Teman?
Right.
Because Teman at one time was known for what?
Yeah, for their wise men.
Their wise men.
The rocket program, the space program, it was a German scientist that did that, and it was a Russian that got some of the Germans, scientists, and Americans. That's why they had the space race. And really, when you see that movie, The Right Stuff, in the movie they show, I don't know if that was true, but I can believe it. They said they don't need nobody to man the spaceship, but they said, well, we got to prove to the world that there's somebody in there, right? And they said you got to put panels and shit. So they said, no, we can make it where you don't need to do it. He said, but we got to make it look like they know what they do. Otherwise, they don't look stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
And Teman represents Germany. Now,
Right.
one of the reasons why Britain went to war with Israel, it was Britain. It was Britain, right, that declared war against Israel because of the Germans. Their production was far more better. Going back to Teman, they were known for their best production.
Right.
You know, the
Yeah,
Germans.
those 2 world wars were set up because Germany was making better products.
Yeah.
Hell, Germany, the best products that come out of Germany, man.
Yeah.
You know those cars? Yep.
It,
BMW, Bavarian Motor Works,
So that's
Mercedes, you know?
yeah. So that's an example of Teman's wisdom.
right.
So the Lord is saying, "Is wisdom no more in Teman?"
Right.
And then what happened to your wisdom? Why are you having all these problems?
Right. Hey, and then you had The Russians had scientists. The Americans had scientists. How come they couldn't figure out certain things among
They
them?
needed them Germans, man.
That's it. You know, the Manhattan Project and whatever else they
Yep.
they use. Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, the Rothschilds, they came out of Germany. The Rothschilds, which they were money lending geniuses.
Right.
The Rothschild family, they came out of Germany.
Yep.
You know.
Adam Weishaupt.
Adam
Yeah,
Weishaupt.
Weishaupt came out of Germany.
Weishaupt. You know, Bavaria, Germany.
So going back to the scripture, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perish from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanish? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the Dan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him.
Right. And that's what the Lord says too, to stand up now with your monthly prognosticators and your so on and so forth. You got to bring it out.
So all the problems, if I may say, all the problems that is coming upon America right now, coming upon the so-called white man, the Lord is bringing it. How do we know? Because he says it right here. I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him. So the Lord is the one orchestrating it and doing it, you know?
Yeah, you think you're so smart, but pretty much the so-called wisdom that you have, you're destroying yourself.
Got the Isaiah 47.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 12. It says, stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
Yep.
If so be, thou shalt be able to profit.
You know what proved that? You had, what's this guy, the president, Reagan.
Also Ezekiel 28. Start from the top.
Ronald Reagan, his wife was known for dealing with, what's it, Nancy Reagan. She was known for dealing with
Witches,
wizards.
wizards,
Yeah. Then you had, then you had Bill Clinton, his wife. She was known for dealing with wizards.
What's her name? Eleanor
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. She was calling on spirits and stuff.
Yeah.
So that shows you that they get this spirit, their information from the left hand side.
Left-hand side, yeah.
And the scriptures got them pegged, man, to a T.
John Todd used to bring out. John Todd said they had what they call them?
Council of 13.
Yeah, they had spirit guides.
Spirit guides.
Just come straight to them.
Which we have spirit guides on the right-hand side. The
They had
angels,
spirit guides on the left hand side.
they have spirit guides on the left-hand side.
Yep. Yeah, so
And then they get mad at us like we ain't got nothing better to do than get on them. Look, man, the Most High put the spirit on us to do what we do.
that's right.
Spirit guides guiding us.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 1. It says, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus said the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am God. I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not a God.
Yeah, once again, that's the Heavenly Father cursing out the so-called white man. Because you believe that you're God. That's why you put up your face as God. You put up your face as the Son of God. You put up your face as the angels. I mean, everybody in the heavens, that's you. And that's one of the reasons why you're so proud.
You know, he's one of the animal whisperers that comes in front of Nature Channel.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the Lord cursing you out. And then the Lord, what he's going to do is expose you, and then he's going to bring you down. Just like the Apostle Paul said, that man of sin.
Yeah, get that. I was going to
That's our favorite scripture. We love that scripture.
And like Pharaoh, you know?
start from the third verse.
The
Absolutely.
Most High could have took
Right,
down
the
Pharaoh.
Most High can compare Esau to Pharaoh and the Egyptians.
Yeah, man, we love this scripture. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you. You want me to start the first verse?
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, right. Get all the meat off that boat. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that day of Yahushua is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except they come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High.
Stop right there. Oh, the brother, the elder from down south, he did a video on that movie, Carbon Copy. I don't know if y'all saw the video, Denzel Washington.
No.
And he was showing, I think it was called Extreme Subtlety or something like that. And I remember that movie in the theater, right?
I remember the movie, yeah.
Now, what happened was the Edomite so-called Jew had popped, Jake woman had a son.
Yeah.
And later in life, she had died or something like that. And later in life, the son came as a grown man, which is Denzel.
Right.
So this guy came to realize, well, that's my son. So
Right.
I got to take him in. So he had to explain it to his wife.
Right.
And when she heard that that was his actual son, she basically called him the devil, man. And she said, well, what if you find out that God is black? She said, you're going to burn in hell for saying that.
Right.
Back then, Esau really thought in his mind. Back when we were children,
All right.
Yeah.
when they played the Ten Commandments, you saw it, man. Oh, man, we got to watch. And Jesus, you
Yep.
know,
Jesus
the
piece.
Jesus,
The greatest story ever
greatest
told.
story. Yeah, that you sat down, man. You wasn't starting no trouble in the street. You watching,
Right.
you know.
The
But
attentively.
now that shit ain't gonna work. You notice they ain't playing the movies no more.
No, hell
But
no.
Jake ain't saying we ain't fuck this bullshit, man.
Yeah, we ain't
Jesus
falling for
is
that.
black, you know.
Yep.
And the Lord took their covering cast over all people.
They're being exposed.
That's
Yep.
it.
That darkness, the darkness.
That fucking Ten Commandments ain't working no more,
They
man.
Come.
With Charlton Heston, that shit ain't working no more.
They're like that bitch.
So what the fucking Charlton Heston playing the fucking Moses? Supposed to be a black man.
Even Ice-T cursed out Charlton
remember
Heston.
that,
Yeah.
remember, yep.
He said, yeah, and we're supposed to believe you're Moses.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 14. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Come.
Revealing.
I got a quick one.
Yeah, you got it.
This is First Maccabees 3:48, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. You know, and that was a great deception. That was during the time of the Renaissance. I mean, this goes back, but
Well, that was during the time of the Greeks.
Khan.
But to bring it up to date to the Renaissance, I got told this guy, the icon man, remember his name?
The Renaissance man.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Renaissance man.
Come,
And
come.
I said, what was the Renaissance all about? He gave me some. Yeah, I said no. The Renaissance is all about destroying the black images and putting up white images. He ran down the
Yeah,
street.
because you told her you used the term iconoclasm.
Well, he didn't even know what that was.
Right,
No,
right.
he didn't know.
He didn't even know what
We
that
asked
was,
him.
man.
We asked him, what is it? He
Yeah.
had that blank
He
stare.
said, "You told me."
Yeah.
But
Anytime somebody say "you told me," that means
mean you don't know.
got the answer to the question. Oh man, go ahead.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about, man.
This is Luke chapter 12, verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known.
That's right.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Getting back to 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That falling away was us as a nation. We had to fall. A good example of that is 67 AD, going into 70 AD, when you had the diaspora. You had the great scattering of the nation of Israel. What happened was we fled the land of Israel, fleeing Roman persecution, and we fled into the north and west part of Africa. We fled as far west as Europe.
You know, you still had Israelites down in Israel too.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
Because
the majority,
the kings that came up after the Michigan was all Jacob, man. I did
Yeah.
a video on that.
Yep. Up into Syria.
Yeah. It was
Asia.
all over the place, and we're back. We're back. We never left.
Khan.
We never left, man. But we got out. our mojo back, you know,
Con.
which is the Most High.
Con.
Yeah, we even.
And you know it. You
Yep.
fucking devils know it, man.
You know it.
You elite. You crackers. You average Joe crackers. You don't know. But the elite knows, man.
Oh, the elite? No. We fled as far east as Japan, China.
We laid our seed everywhere that we went,
Yeah.
man.
That's why
Corners
they're
of
bringing
the
it out now.
You got simple ass niggas talking about, I ain't Japanese. Motherfucker, you know, a lot of them Arabs, hey, a lot of them Elamites is Jake, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because during the Passover, they came from Elam.
Yeah.
There was a community of Jakes in Elam that would come every year to Jerusalem to keep the Passover.
Matter of fact, since you said that,
Go ahead.
Apostle Paul said,
Go ahead.
it's Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, should discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
yeah, the reason why 70 AD happened was that was the Lord's fire. For Israel became so wicked that the Heavenly Father brought 70 AD upon them. Just scattered them, man. Put the anger on the Romans, which even King David said, deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. And who was the Lord's sword at that time? The Romans, which were Edomites, right? To back up what you said, Isaiah 11 and 10, and in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people, to which shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Paphros, and from Cush, and from Elam, like you mentioned Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
Yep. All up in that area.
And all those Israelites, they're not going to look like all so-called Negroes, man. They're going to look like the nations where they were scattered.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising.
We read 60, Isaiah 60.
verse 3.
And you know what? Read into that. Man. There's
Yes.
a lot of
meat.
A lot of meat. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. It says, Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon thee.
It's knowledge.
And that's happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime we teach his word, the glory is rising up on you.
Yeah.
The brother just said that, what's the actor's name? The comedian guy that passed by?
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan passed by talking, hey, you GMS? I need a blessing. So that, why they didn't say, he didn't say, are you an Israelite in GMS?
Right.
They know the difference between GMS and ISU, IUIC, and
ISUPK, GOCC.
and LOI. They know the difference, man. You know?
He just got into that accident. He almost lost his life.
Yeah.
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah. And he knows that we spiritual men.
Yeah.
For him to ask for a blessing,
Yeah.
you don't ask for a blessing from the devil, right?
Con.
Go ahead.
For behold,
But he better not do a video saying, "Oh, I ran into GMS and asked for a blessing." They're gonna,
Oh, yeah.
you know, blacklist your ass.
Yeah.
You know, not whitelist you. They're gonna blacklist you.
Yep.
it says, For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
Like I said, going back when we
Ignorance.
were kids, you know, they had the thing on the greatest story ever told.
Yep.
And you see this guy looking like Charles Manson, that's supposed to be Jesus. Oh, that's Jesus, you know, the 12 disciples. And then even Esau show you in the movies that he made him kind of look like Ephraimites. In the Ten Commandments, Joshua looked just like an Ephraimite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and then also Cecil B. DeMille made that movie, right? And he gave a list of all the books that he went into, man.
Yeah.
And the clothing and everything, they got it down, man. You know?
Oh, the Hebrew on the
Hebrew on Jethro's
on the well,
stone.
Jethro's
Yep,
well.
it was written in ancient Hebrew, man.
When he came down the mountain,
The Ten
the
Commandments,
tablets.
the commandments were written in ancient Hebrew, you know?
So he did his work and homework.
Now this guy, he did it. The first movie he did on the Ten Commandments was back in like 1921.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And one of the guys that was in the movie that played a Hebrew slave was a guy that played the Most High in Green Pastures.
Okay.
Which is guy Rex something.
Rex Ingram.
Rex Ingram.
Con.
He said he played a Hebrew slave.
He was also a genie. He played the genie.
He played the genie. He
Yeah,
played the genie.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
What was that
that's right.
Sabu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a precept. Psalm 64 and 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and their heart is deep.
That's these devils. That's why they know the truth. And like we always say here, in order for you to teach a lie, you must know the truth.
Yeah.
And this man, I'm sorry, this man is, like Yahweh Shai said, this man is the father of lies.
Yep.
That's all he does is lie. So that means he has to know the truth. When the serpent in the garden, which the serpent was Esau, Edom, with pigment, when the serpent told Eve a half truth. The serpent told Eve, yeah, you
won't die.
You won't die. You'll be as gods,
right.
knowing good and evil, which is true. But he said you won't die.
Right.
Which he lied, because we did die. As soon as we took on that knowledge, like the Apostle Paul said, it bringeth forth, when you sin, which is transgression of the law, it bringeth forth what? Death. That's what the Apostle Paul said.
Wages of sin is death.
Wages of sin is death. Yeah.
This is Revelation 20, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So that's during the time when then the dark nations gathered up Esau and put his ass, in the caves, man. Ran him out.
And why did it say the old serpent? Going back to the Garden of Eden,
Right.
you had Eve.
He's also known as a dragon.
Yeah.
Now, this coronavirus thing, the first area that they declared as like an emergency was New Rochelle, New York, right? And the first thing they said, one of the things they said was we're gonna have the National Guards come in and give them food, and clean up.
Yep.
But wait a minute, that's the military, man.
Yep.
So the dragon is part of the military is part of the dragon.
Right.
So we're showing you that the dragon is militaristic, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Trump said he's going to unleash. He used that word, unleash. The emergency. He said something to that effect. I'm going you know what that means? If you had a dog and it's an attack dog and you unleash it, that means get that motherfucker.
Right. Like unleashing the crack.
Unleashing the crack. Yep. Yep.
I got a piece of puzzle. Daniel 7 and 7. After this, I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. That was the strength of their military. As you always point out, Apostle Tar, how that the Roman Empire, they were symbolized by the iron.
Yeah, because they use the iron to make their weapons, and they utilize it. Even though other armies use iron, but no army in the ancient world used iron as much as the Romans. That's where their power was.
Yep.
That sword, to break other swords because it's iron.
And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
That's why they were called a dragon, because another word for dragon is cruel. Dragons are usually associated with being what? Cruel. Now I got a precept here, Jeremiah 50, 41 and 42. Behold, the people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon.
Now you said 10 horns, right? Now I'm going to read the 10 horns to you. Alemanni, which is the Germans. Burgundians, which is the Swiss. Franks, which is the French. Lombards, which is the Italians. Get down to heart. Saxons, which is the English. Swabi, which is the Portuguese. Visigoths, which is the Spanish. Heruli, which is extinct. Ostrogoths, which is extinct, and the Vandals. That's where you get the word vandalism from. Because the Vandals used to come and just tear shit up,
Yep. Yeah, and
That's
don't
history. That's that history.
con.
Hey, you can't remember all them names.
Nah,
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 hell
nah.
no.
And they were all those people were all up in those European
They were
areas.
Edomites. They were
Yep.
Edomites, yep.
You know, and that's the ancient names of
Now,
those.
who was the one that was giving the most help? The Germans.
The German. Oh, right.
Germans, man.
Con.
Go ahead.
Revelation 13.
The Germanic tribes. Yep.
And they showed you that in that movie Gladiator.
Got it.
The very first scene, they were fighting against the Germans.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You know?
And then the guy, the right hand man of the of this guy Maximus, he asked him. He said, "Why wouldn't the people admit when they're defeated?" He said, "Would you? Would I?" You know. So in other words, they just kept going.
Yep.
Which that guy Maximus, he didn't even exist.
Yeah,
He was a composite.
They made it up, yeah.
composite
This
of-
guy,
yeah.
what's his
Melly
name?
Gibson.
Marcus Aurelius
He
and Commodus
existed.
exist. They were Jakes.
Con.
They were Jakes, man. They
Scott.
both had beards.
Con.
No, it was a composite of
He didn't even come at that time. Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
the guy that
That
played.
was
They,
later,
they
yeah.
did
They
for
put
the
him. They put him in. They made him up. They said
Yeah.
he came out of Spain.
for
They
dramatic.
made him
purpose.
up. They put that character in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Once again, he calls it creative licensing. No, it's lies, all right? Call it what it is.
Creative
man.
lies.
He saw with his words. That's why the scriptures speak about his words were what? Smoother than butter. You know, a quantitative easing, which is a fancy term for what? Cheapening the money system,
Right.
devaluing the money system. But they call it quantitative easing,
Right. To
creative licensing.
to ease
You
the
devil's boy.
ease the suspicion of the people.
Yeah.
You know, quantitative easing sounds like something. Wow. You know, like they're really fixing this.
Oh, when they created the Federal Reserve, this guy wanted to call it the Aldrich Bill because he was part of the crew. And what's his name?
Nelson Aldrich.
Yeah, Nelson
or
Aldrich.
Warburg,
Paul Warburg said, no, let's give it a government name.
Right.
We're going to call it the Federal Reserve.
Right.
That's what the scriptures say about his words.
Which is a private organization.
Yeah.
And, like the Apostle Paul said, least any man shall beguile you through their subtlety, like the serpent beguiled Eve.
Yep.
You know.
So you gotta see through the so-called crack, so to speak.
God.
You know.
And it starts with the hate. You got to have hate. Once you have that hate will propel you.
Right.
It will fuel you, man. Once you have that hate for this devil, then you start to see through his bullshit.
Yep.
Because
Well,
it
that's
starts
James
with the
5.
hate.
That's James 5.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, get that. Because we said we're going to get it. Let's go get go ahead.
Let's
and
go.
get it.
Let's go
Right.
get it.
You got that hate for this devil. That's enough to fuel you.
Go ahead.
This is James
through
chapter
his
5,
bullshit.
verse
Your
1.
hate will sustain
Go
you.
to now, ye
your
rich
hate will
men,
lift you up.
weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon
The
you.
misery is what? The destruction, going into captivity, you know? Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
It says when they defy and they're going to be tormented day and night.
Losing everything.
Yeah.
Apostle, like that movie Excalibur, your lust shall keep
Yeah,
you.
that's it. That's it.
When he was
Yeah.
riding that
Yeah,
horse,
yeah, yeah.
he said, your lust shall
Yeah,
keep
your
you up.
lust.
Hey, your hate,
yeah.
our hate will, you know.
That's it. That's it. Yep. Go ahead.
It says your riches are corrupted and your garments are more.
Now, how is your riches is corrupted? Because you gave the world, you gave the whole planet this fiat money.
Yep.
You got central banks all over the world. That idea came from you, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
Right. That's a nest egg.
It says, behold,
And you know what the fire part is? When Yahushua comes with those chariots and the missiles. Because when Yahushua comes to those chariots and the missiles, that's it for you bankers, man.
Game over.
You can forget about it, Rothschild. You ain't going to be in power no more.
Yep.
You know, and you other banking families.
That's it for you. Your position will be taken.
That's it.
Your crown will be taken off your head, and Yahushua is taking your crown.
That's right. That's why the Apostle John on the island of Patmos, he saw that vision. He saw Yahushua on his head with many crowns.
Right. Which is representative of Yahushua taking all the empires of this world down, beginning with
down.
Esau. You know? So that's it. You know, in other words, like when you like, he's gonna be credited with getting the victory over all these nations.
And the whole world will know it's Yahweh, why Yahushua.
Right.
Because he's going to magnify, Yahweh is going to magnify his name right along with his son.
That's right.
Just
Hey,
like he did back in ancient Egypt.
that's right.
When his name was what? Magnified.
That's right.
The
That's
name
right.
of Yahweh. So once again, it's going to be magnified.
Once again,
So
it's
we know
on.
the destruction is coming, man.
Yeah. Hey, the scriptures say, as the lightning cometh from the east and goes to the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So it's not going to be a thing where, I wonder if that's the Lord. Everybody's going to know, you know?
Oh yeah. Hey, well, yeah, you got it, brother. You got it.
I got to put quote back.
I got to read this.
It says, this is from Mary Amschel Rothschild. It says, let me issue and control a nation's money, and I cannot rewrite their laws.
Yeah. If you control the money, you pretty much control everything.
Yeah, because you can be behind the scenes, but they are behind the scenes, and they'll say, pass this law.
Right.
No, that's not, no, we're not going to do it. Okay, well, we're going to mess your money supply up.
Yep.
You know?
This is Job chapter 20, verse 15. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall cast them out of his belly.
Yeah, because they got him unjustly. Can I read this one, Apostle? Proverbs 28:8. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. You know?
Usury means interest.
God.
Quick precept to back you up what you said about Yahushua coming. Luke 21:26. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
Yeah. Because the powers of the heavens, meaning what? The power of these kingdoms, the power of these empires and their governments, is they're going to be shaken because they're going to be loosed. Like the very night when Belshazzar, which was the king of Babylon at the time, fell, his whole empire, his power structure was shaken and given to the Medes and the Persians.
Yeah, Darius.
Yeah.
Darius the meat.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 22, verse 7. It reads, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender.
Yeah, so this is a debt pay system. So everybody, and when they have the national debt clock on 6th Avenue, right? What's that? 42nd Street. They got that up there. Like you thinking, oh, they're letting us know what's really going on. No, they letting you know what you gotta pay. And they'll tell you each family owes this much. They telling you what you gotta pay, man.
They're letting you know you're a slave.
And that's why in James the 5th chapter said that we're gonna wake up to this, man.
Yep.
Why you think that there's one of y'all said this earlier in France? The French, they going on year number 2 and riots. They ain't stopped, they ain't slowed down.
Right.
You got riots taking place all over the place, man.
Yeah.
And it's getting ready to come over here.
Yeah, and these riots are...
Let them not be no fucking more toilet paper or bread or anything. Let them shelves, anywhere you go to any supermarket now, most of the shelves are empty. So
Right.
let it keep coming. And they ain't bringing no new shit over here, man.
Right.
They're gonna start rioting, man.
Yeah. Because there's gonna be there's gonna be famines. You know, when there's no shipment coming into the harbor, and the trucks are not bringing those containers into the cities, people ain't gonna get no food, no milk, no water.
Nobody knows how to plant.
Right.
Nobody got farms.
Hell no.
Shit, they don't even know what a seed is. Everything now is seedless grapes, seedless oranges, seedless everything.
Then you dumb monkeys, you monkey-minded fools. You talking about putting Creepy Joe in there, man.
Creepy Joe.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth.
That's right.
And mischief shall fall upon thee.
That's
Thou
right.
shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly.
Yep.
Which thou shalt not know.
If I may say, and that's why we know that scare, that coronavirus, that's just the beginning, man.
Yeah.
It's going to ramp up. It's going to be more deadlier plagues, even more deadlier than the coronavirus. And we expect that. You know why? Because we know the prophecies.
Yep.
You know, we expect it to come. We'll be mad if it don't come. And if it don't come, that would make the Most High a liar. And the scriptures say it's impossible for him to lie.
Let's finish reading James 5.
That's right.
This is James 5, I think I left off at 4.
Go ahead.
It says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
That's right.
The Lord of Sabaoth. That's talking about the Lord of our armies. He's not talking about the Sabbath. Go ahead.
It says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton, ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter.
Well, wait a minute. Who's he speaking to? He's speaking to the top banking families. That's who he's speaking to.
What's that place up there in Maine where they had the Newport, Maine, where they had all those big mega mansions?
Oh, that was Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, the brothers went there.
Huh?
They went there. The brothers went there.
When them Edomites back in the turn of the century, when they came into all that money, they were making those mega houses, man.
Hell yeah.
You know, and they were living like kings.
Yeah.
You know?
Careless.
And what the brothers reading, that's talking to you top banking families.
Yep.
You Rothschilds, you Rockefellers,
Yeah,
DuPonts.
you're super rich.
You're super rich.
You're elite. You're not living like the average person, like an average Edomite.
Nah.
You know, this is really going out to you. You're
Right.
living in a mansion.
Yep.
You know, you got a summer home in Italy. You got a winter home over here in Switzerland.
Yep.
You got servants waiting on you.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
You got cooks. You got all that, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Fared sumptuously
I was
every
just
day.
thinking that.
Yep.
That's the rich man.
Yep.
You got it, bro.
It says, ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you.
Right.
And because they got the power, we can't resist them.
Right.
Because they got the power.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep reading.
All right, verse 7, be patient therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh.
Yeah, that's it.
Grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth before the door.
You know who that is, right? That's Yahweh Shai. You know?
It says, take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. Behold, ye count them happy which endure. Ye have heard the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy. But above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by any other oath, but let your yea be yea, and your nay, nay, lest ye fall into condemnation.
And Esau
That's it
don't,
on that.
yeah, Esau don't even follow that.
We
They have
go to
you,
Ezekiel 28 too.
yeah, they have you swear in their court system. And the Bible clearly says we're not supposed to swear.
And they're getting ready to have a census, and that's going against the Most
Going
High
on.
too. Because they're saying that these are my people,
Yep.
not the Most High's people.
That's right.
He said it sits upon the congregation of the north, or the congregation of the Most High on the sides of the north. He said, I will sit upon the congregation in the sides of the
That's
north.
it. That's their pride. Their
Right, yeah.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 28. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 1. The word of the Lord came again, saying, again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus said the Lord power,
Which represent America.
because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, there is no secret that they can hide from thee.
Yeah, and that part where it's saying in the midst of the seas, mean the people.
Right.
That's a dark
Roman
saying.
Catholic Church, Catholic meaning universal church, world church, it's also called the Holy See.
Look at that.
You know?
So that's a dark saying. And that's why people can't understand the Bible in the midst of the seas. They think in the actual seas. What sea? The aquatic sea or the
Go
Red
to
Sea?
Revelation 17, what is it? Revelation 17 and 15, I believe.
Con.
The Black Sea? The Caspian Sea?
No, I'm going to read Revelation.
Who got that? Revelation 17 and 15.
I believe it's 15.
This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. And he saith unto
thought you
me,
was good.
the
I was-
waters
I was
which thou
trying to get
sawest, where the whore
see how it
sitteth,
says.
are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
So another word for waters is seas. All right? Let's go back.
Yeah, they call it sperm, they call it semen.
Seaman.
Yeah,
Seaman.
semen.
Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, there is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches.
That's how we know that they know that they're the Edomites. Because they check out the whole Bible.
That's right.
They go out and they dig, Jeremiah 8:1. They go out and dig up things and get the proof on it. They don't read the Bible in faith. They read it, and then they go verify whether these things are true. Whether there's a guy named King David, Samson, you know?
Yeah, like that dude Ivan Panin. He found out there's a numeric structure to the
Right,
Bible.
right. Yeah, you did a
and that's,
video on it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what made him believe. Before he was an atheist, but when he saw that complicated, he's, I believe this is the word of God, you know? You said Jeremiah 8:1? I got it for you.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 8:1. At that time, saith the Lord, they shall bring out the bones of the kings of Judah, and the bones of his princes, and the bones of the priests, and the bones of the prophets, and the bones of the inhabitants of Jerusalem out of their graves. And they shall spread them before the sun, and the moon, and all the host of heaven, whom they have loved, and whom they have served, and after whom they have walked, and whom they have sought, and whom they have worshipped. They shall not be gathered nor buried. They shall be for dung upon the face of the earth. Keep reading on this.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah,
I was talking about them scholars, them archaeologists that dig up things to confirm there's an ark, Noah's Ark, to confirm there was a Sodom and Gomorrah, to confirm that that's Lot's wife, you know?
I was listening to one video. This dude, he went into the Gulf of Aqaba. He said, we've been teaching that. That's where the Israelites crossed over. And he said,
Actually, it was the Gulf of Suez.
I got it right here.
right. He said that under the waters, they found remnants of iron wheels from Pharaoh's chariots. You know, so that's an example of that. Esau searching. You know, Elder Apostle Tar used to have this dictionary, and I know he remembers it. It was yellow colored. It was hardcover, and you had it in that book that was stolen. You had a bag of books that was stolen in the dictionary, and I saw this. They had a map of Israel, and it was called a Rothschild excavation map, and it looked like Israel looked like a piece of Swiss cheese. So many places that have been funded by the Rothschilds where they were digging. What were they digging for?
Right.
That's the scripture right there.
That's it. Go ahead.
2 Maccabees 2:5. And when Jeremiah came thither, he found an hollow cave wherein he laid the tabernacle and the ark and the altar of incense, and so stopped the door. And some of those that followed him came to mark the way, but they could not find it. Which when Jeremiah perceived, he blamed them, saying, as for that place, it shall be unknown until the time that the Most High gather his people again together and receive unto them mercy.
So we'll see the ark in the kingdom.
Yeah.
And really, the ark is Yahweh Shai.
Right. Outside.
Yahweh Shai is the ark of the covenant. You know.
Where we at?
Ezekiel.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 4. It says, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic.
Yeah, because people think you had during the time of FDR, they had confiscated the gold from American citizens, and what they did was they built up a thing called Fort Knox. Not one president even mentions the word Fort Knox because there ain't nothing in there. You know, they're just gonna take gold and just put it somewhere and leave it there and not mess with it. That don't make no fucking sense.
No.
You know?
Let's go.
Go ahead.
But thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, blessed is the Lord power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas.
And that pit is literal, man.
Yeah, that's in Isaiah 24.
I'm going right there too. You want me to read it now?
Yeah.
Isaiah 24 and Isaiah. Okay, Isaiah 24 and 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. In the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be as the shaking of an olive tree, and as the gleaning grapes when the vintage is done. They shall lift up their voice, they shall sing for the majesty of the Lord, they shall cry aloud from the sea. Wherefore glorify ye the Lord in the fires, even the name of the Lord, power of Israel, in the isles of the sea.
Yeah, we're going to glorify the name of the Lord in the fires because we're going to be up in the ship. And we're going to glorify his name.
From the utmost part of the earth have we heard songs, even glory to the righteous. But I said, my leanness, woe unto me. The treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yea, the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundation of the earth do shake, as the missiles. The earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, the earth is moved exceedingly. And that's why we say those missiles, they're going to serve to purify the earth, you know, as well as, because that's the purest way to purify something, fire. What are the missiles going to emit? Fire. So the earth is going to be cleansed, man.
Like lava, like in Hawaii, lava in different islands. The lava that comes out after it cools off and stuff, vegetation starts to grow.
That's right.
And it's fertile.
All the minerals will be put back in the earth. The earth also, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high.
The Esau, the elite, the high ones, the highest ones.
And the kings of the earth upon the earth, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit.
That's slavery right there.
Yeah.
That's slavery.
Psalms 149, to bind their kings with chains. Oh, you got it. You want them to read it, Pastor?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Psalm 149, verse 6. Let the high praises of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
That's slavery. Go ahead.
To execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints, praise ye Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
And the saints are Israelites.
Us.
So there's no way you Edomites can get up in here, man.
That's right.
You know, you're sadly mistaken.
Then it says this honor have, so it's going to be an honor for us to do it. And we're gonna revel in it. We're gonna you know.
Well, it says you shall boast yourself in the riches of the nations.
We shall boast ourselves.
Yeah, that's Isaiah 61.
Con.
61?
Con.
Yep.
That's
finish
like,
that verse.
you know, being acting arrogant towards the nations, you know.
Yeah, we on top. We got a crown on our head. Get over here. You know?
That's right.
That's how we gonna be.
Hey, because you know
we gonna
Jake gets
flex.
aggressive.
We gonna flex.
Yeah, and you know Jake gets aggressive.
Jake gets very aggressive.
You know, hey, and you know Jake is. That's how Jake is. They naturally talk shit.
Oh yeah, Judah
You know?
especially.
Oh,
Judah.
yeah.
Judah known for Isaiah 24 and 22.
Esau's losing sleep. The elite.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's certain Edomites on a low level that's laughing at us, joking.
That's all right.
It's a joke. But the super elite, that's why
I ain't laughing.
they're coming up with a strategy to try to get us,
Off the street.
off the streets, really off of YouTube. Really
Yeah.
off of YouTube, man.
Yeah. All that legislation they're passing for the internet. Why? Just because we're bringing out the truth. It ain't because you put your puppy dog on YouTube and, oh, look at my puppy dog first steps. Apostle Tar used to say that YouTube ain't to put your puppy dog in the first steps of your. Nah, YouTube was for us, man. The prophets to teach His word. Anyway, Isaiah 24 and 22, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit,
That's slavery.
and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited.
Then
Then
they're going to be visited as to what job they're going to be doing that day. Job assignments.
Ezekiel 39. Oh, okay, he
Go
got
ahead.
it.
Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto God a place there of the graves of Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea, and it shall stop the noises of the passengers, and there shall they bury God and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Ammon God.
A lot of dead bodies.
And 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And they shall serve up men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those.
That's going to be one of their jobs.
One of them.
And after they get finished doing that job, we're going to have another job for them.
Continual employment.
Says
No
pass-
unemployment.
And then their children are going to be born, their little babies, we're going to put a shovel in their hand, you know, like
Baby shovels.
to let them feel what it feels like to hold a damn shovel.
God.
That's right. That's right.
Get to work.
We
They're
gonna
going
put
to be working, man. You devils are going to be working, man.
It's gonna
You know,
be-
you enjoy yourself. You had a joyous time beating the shit out of us.
That's right.
So much,
We're going to do the same thing to you and worse.
so much torment give them.
So much torment given. Yep.
The chains on their babies.
That baby chains.
Baby chains. Yeah, well, they fed our babies to the gators.
God.
You have something called gator bait. So the Lord said, double unto him. Double. That's what you got? Yeah, the Lord said, double unto him, give him double. So we
It
don't
says better is the end of this thing than the beginning thereof. Well, hey, if we had our end, then it's your beginning.
Hey, the Lord said
So
we
we'd
could.
rather be at the end of something than the beginning of it.
God.
Man.
That's it.
Because the end of the sun is better than the beginning.
That's it.
I got
That's
a
it.
quick precept for you,
Go
Apostle.
ahead.
Isaiah 33 and 18. Thine heart shall meditate terror. Yeah, that's the spirit. Where's the scribe? Where's the receiver? Where's he that counteth the towers? And we're going to have nothing but time in the kingdom, so we'll have time to sit down and meditate on ways of how we're going to torture you devils, man. We're going to meditate on, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to set up lions, and I'm going to have these lions attack Esau. I'm going to have and then when the lion wins, I'm going to put a chain around the lion.
Power bomb, like the brother
Oh,
said.
yeah, power
Yeah,
bomb.
power
They
bomb.
have
Yeah, yeah.
Power bomb.
Oh, that's what Hancock did to
That's
Miss
what
Michelle.
they said in the movie. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the spirit on the lion to fly.
Bring the pterodactyls back.
The
And
lion.
you can have them run. You can have them run for their life. Say, I'm gonna give you. You run. I'm gonna let you free and have them through them. And then all of a sudden you decide to fly.
Yeah, cut.
Start flying
Yeah.
off, man. Just start fucking them up.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Or you can grab him, fly up to the air like Brightburn. Fly up to the air with
Like
the
he
devil.
did to his mother.
Yeah. Show the devil the earth. See?
And when I was watching that movie, I was like, yeah, get that bitch. And father, so-called father, shot him in the head and it bounced off.
Oh, yeah.
And he used laser beams to come in. Hey, that's a look. Hey, brother, that's what we gonna get, man.
Go
And
meditate.
that's the right way to portray Superman.
That's right.
Right.
As a bad guy, you know. Fuck that good guy, Uncle
Uncle Tom
bullshit,
shit.
you
That's
know?
why the Lord killed that fucking
Hey, well,
cracker, man.
I was the man of steel. I was rooting for General Zod.
Oh, yeah, General
You know,
Zod.
General Zod was a good guy.
Hey,
You know,
well,
because he was about his people.
that's right.
And he even said, Superman, when he threw up, he said, "You're not used to our atmosphere." Because you fucking sold out, man.
Right.
You
He's
know?
soft, Superman.
Got a precept?
Go ahead.
He lost his nerve.
This is Sirach 33 and 25. If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest. But if thou let him go idle, he shall seek liberty. A yoke and a collar do bow the neck. So are tortures and torments for an evil servant.
God damn.
Well, that's
that's
the
Esau.
torment in Revelation. You know?
So much sorrow and torment.
So much sorrow and torment given. You know?
Yep.
Send him to labor, that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil.
Yeah.
Set him to work as it fit for him. If he be not obedient, put on more heavy fetters.
And that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do to Esau.
God,
Go
that's
ahead.
Right.
It says,
Put your weight on him.
It says, "Be not excessive toward any, and without discretion do nothing. If thou have a servant, let him be."
Hey, well,
unto
you
thee."
know what? The order is three videos per week, and that's light, man.
Yeah.
That's work. If you want to be a part of Great Millstone, people, yo, why you telling guys to do three? I said, man, if they don't like it, they can leave, man. It's just that simple.
Bounce.
If you're part of Great Millstone, you are expected to work. All right.
Yeah, the work. Hey, well, that's why Tazariak, he marveled at all the videos that he made that one stupid statement. And he said, man, GMS is like they came with that avalanche. I forgot what words he used. They came and swamped us with those videos, you know.
Tazariak sees that we have the truth, but
Yeah.
you know,
Because
hey, if he's in the house of David, like I said, I was getting ready to say in the car, I said he's in the house of Saul, but I said David.
Yep.
So he might come out, he might wake up out of that bullshit, man.
you might just wake up. Yeah, but that's our spirit to make all these videos.
We got the truth, Tazariak.
Right.
You know? That debate that you're gonna have with that other dude, Dr. Vincent, that place that they gonna have it, it's closed because of the coronavirus, man. Oh, that place with the ISUPK up the county center up there in White Plains, that's closed, man, because of the coronavirus. So they're hoping that the thing be open by April 9th. And then if you're gonna have the Passover on April 9th, you're off by about 3 or 4 days, man.
Yep.
If anything, you're supposed to have it on the so-called April 6th. The so-called Jews are closer to the right date than you. The so-called Jews are having it on April 8th, but the real date is supposed to be April 6th. Because when you count the new moon, 14 days, that's the 6th and even. So how you gonna have it on the 9th? Mosai, that shows you that that's a fake-ass Passover, man. Mosai ain't with that Passover.
Hell no. They're gonna have dating ritual at the Passover. They got the corsages, the married woman, they gotta wear a white corsage. The single women gotta wear a red corsage. They got the commercial right now. They on YouTube. It's basically a commercial. Get the Benjamin with the deep voice. Get your red corsage and your white corsage.
Well, they're establishing their own righteousness. Romans 10.
Since when is the Passover the dating game?
No, it's a day when you in fear. Because the death angel, the grim reaper came killing. You were hearing screams.
You guys are crazy, man. You guys are crazy, man.
You gotta have that humble Passover like we got, man.
Oh, we had a real humble Passover.
Yep. Go ahead.
Beautiful. Galatians chapter 1, verse 6. I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Yahushua onto another gospel, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Yahushua.
Yeah, like
hey, give me Matthew 5, verse 17, I believe it said.
You know an example of that when you talk about John the Baptist not being of the faith, not being of the truth. That's a perversion of the gospel. That's a perversion of the gospel. Yep. Even people that's not in the truth.
Either you're being wicked,
right,
you're deceiving the people, or you just don't know. Either way, you ain't got no business teaching.
You're perverting the gospel.
You know?
Yeah. Time will come
you
with
just
it.
Can't make shit up. You just can't open up the book and read this. Oh, this means that. You just can't make shit up. You got to break it down right, man.
Yep.
Yeah, the scriptures speak about handling the word of the Most High, not with no deceit.
Right.
There's a reason why Tracy Morgan asked for a blessing, man.
From GMS.
From GMS.
Cursed be he that dealeth with the word of the Lord deceitfully.
Because they know.
That's right. They know. Can I read this?
The whole world know, man.
That's right.
God.
That's right.
A city that set on a hill cannot be hid.
I got a precept for you, Apostle. 2 Corinthians 4 and 2.
Hold up. No, they were saying CD, GMS, oh, they hiding somewhere. I said, well, why is everybody looking for us then, you know?
Yeah, like Tracy.
Yeah. How they find him, you know? And he knew who it was.
He knew where to come to.
We ain't got no sign saying this is GMS.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? ISUPK.
Well, that's true.
And furthermore, the ISUPK that you got, that's not even an original ISUPK. I got the priest card, brother.
That's right.
Back in 1985, I still got the priest card. Yeah. You know what it says on the priest card? It says Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
Right.
Not Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
Ooh,
you know?
Yeah, Johanna, you basically formed your own thing, man.
You're doing your own thing.
This is your own wet
And
dream.
you are
man.
the house of salt. Now the question is whether Tazariak is of the house of salt.
That's it.
Hey, you might be Jonathan. You know what I'm saying? The Most High might be trying to drag your ass back,
Throwing you a lifeline.
doing you a lifeline. Yep.
I can see him being the son of Marshall, King Marshall Tazariak. Because Marshall had them big sons, them big, big dudes.
Yep.
Remember Joseph?
Yep.
He's-
Well, he looked like he looked like Joseph. He
looked like Joseph.
He looked like Shadar.
Yeah, Shadar is another one.
He looked like them big guys, man.
Yeah, Marshall had them big. What's that group?
Oh, full force
Full force looking.
linebackers.
Full force cats, man.
Yeah, those are big guys.
yeah,
No,
big
most
dudes,
sons was
man.
big dudes, man.
Bench press a Buick, man.
Yep. Yeah, especially Joseph.
And that's for seconds.
Joseph will literally he'll break that tree. No, the point is he was a big, strong looking guy. 2 Corinthians 4:2, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, commending.
That's what we've been doing, man. What have we gone off on? They always talk about we go off. You ask them what specifically, what are we going off
Yeah,
on?
where?
Then they don't come back and answer, man.
That's it.
You know them scoffers come on there every once in a while.
Yeah.
They'll make a statement, then I'll comment.
Yeah.
Then they don't come back.
Yeah, one scoffer came, he said, the Most High go kill you, demon. You talking to me.
I
laughed when I read that. I was cracking up.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He called me a demon.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
he called me a demon?
Yeah.
Matthew's 10 and 25.
Yeah, and he put it in all caps too. So I read it, I said, this dude is seriously touched, seriously demented, man.
But what are we doing that's so demonic?
Yeah, that's what I
Just
was.
tell me what are we doing that's so demonic? Huh?
Yeah, if we're doing wickedness, wait a minute. The Lord said that Esau is not a terror.
Unto good works.
Right. So if we were doing wickedness, wouldn't Esau have rolled on us by now?
Right.
If we're a bunch of niggas hanging around this car, man, Esau would have been rolled with. You see the cops driving up and down the sidewalk, they would have been rolled on us. Why can't they do it? Because we're here doing a good work, man.
And the scriptures say that wisdom doesn't enter into a malicious soul. You know?
We're here by the
Lord
power.
told us the wicked scribes. He said, "What wicked act did I do?"
Yeah.
How they say it? They said it's not what you did. They said you blaspheme the name of the Father, or whatever.
Because he said
We
he
don't
made himself
condemn you
equal.
because
Yeah.
of a righteous act, because
Right.
he healed on the Sabbath,
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And because he made himself equal, I know that's one of
You
the.
made yourself equal.
Go with them,
Exactly. Yep.
And then he said, I said, haven't I said that ye are
You're
gods?
gods, yeah.
Does not that say that in your law?
Does not your Lord say that?
You know we're in the hood. Yeah, you guys, why don't you go to the hood? Well, nigga, where the hell you think we at? We up in the hood, man. You just heard that car fly by?
Yeah, hell, all them ambulances going
All them
by. Ambulances.
Fire trucks,
And the salsa music.
the salsa music.
Salsa music.
That's the sound of the hood, nigga.
And we ain't in fucking Greenwich.
Hey, there you go.
We're not in Rodeo Drive.
So you hood
Beverly
niggas, you
Hills.
should be happy now. Why don't you niggas go to the hood? You should be happy now.
First of all, we in the hood.
Right.
When anywhere YouTube takes us, that's it, wherever it goes, man. Niggas in the hood be watching us. Esau be watching us. The Rothschilds be watching us. They all watch us, man. Trump be watching us, man. Because Trump even talked about it. He called us the prophet of doom.
Yeah.
You know, he said,
Bush-
"Don't worry about the prophets of doom."
Yeah, Bush said the same thing.
Now, he said the prophets of doom.
Yeah,
Yep.
back
Yep.
in the
back
90s.
in the 90s. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody
Because
had
we're the only ones that's teaching this. There ain't no Christian church or Catholic church. And first of all, they're not even teaching it. Mainly what we get on is the destruction of the society, the end of the world, the upliftment of the children of Israel, and the downward spiral downward of the Edomites, man.
Yep.
Esau, yeah.
The mark of
And the
the
other
beast.
nations, man.
Yep.
Mark of the beast, which is a chip.
The coming of martial law.
Look, that's why we can say we got 100% truth.
That's right.
Yeah. Cover all the prophecies that are happening right
We're
now.
mainly going to the prophecies, you know?
Yep.
Mainly.
That's right.
This is Isaiah chapter 62, verse 6. It says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night.
And a good example of that is these videos. You can tune into the video day or night.
Oh, and then last week, remember last week?
Yeah.
Last week, as an inside joke, Mike, good old Mike.
Good old
anyway,
Mike.
anyway, last week we wasn't teaching, right? But
Nope.
guess what? At the Passover, we still taught.
Yeah, we had a
And
class.
then what was on the comment board? I love these sit downs, these couches.
Yep.
You know, because we got all in the spirit. You know,
Yeah,
we got
come.
all roused up in the spirit. You know.
Somebody
And then
put
we back here again, man.
back on the job. Somebody put a comment. It reminds me of back in the day when we used to do the shows before we went out to speak. Somebody put that comment. You know, the breaking strongholds? Those old videos, yeah. Who got that?
Yeah. It says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. He that make mention of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
Yep. So then, let's go back to Johanna. I hate to bring your name up, brother, but I got to.
Gots to.
Years ago, you had videos you was on Times Square, Johanna burns Times Square down. Well, you ain't been out on the street teaching in years, man. It says, read that again, the last part.
It says, and give him no rest.
Give him no rest. What does it mean, give him no rest? That means keep pushing them videos out. Keep making them videos. Keep teaching. Give him no rest. Because what does Esau do? He doesn't want to watch this.
No.
But he got to watch it, man.
Gots to.
You know, because you got to find out what new thing we're talking about.
Con.
Right.
You know?
I got a precept apostle.
Go ahead.
2 Timothy 4 and 5. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry.
Make full proof of thy ministry.
Hey, what the hell does that mean?
That means use every opportunity to push this word out. And the
right.
main thing that we use is YouTube, man. Because everybody watches YouTube, man. People, you notice nobody even watches TV.
Nope.
They you know what? Everybody got a smart TV, and they'll take YouTube and they'll cast it on their TV.
Yeah, yeah.
Even when Eddie Murphy, he was doing the thing with the Saturday Night Live. He was coming out with the new movie,
Right.
Coming to America, and then he did the other one, Dolomite. And they were interviewing him, and they were asking, "What are you doing?" No, he said, "Me and my boys get together and watch YouTube." That's what he said.
Yeah, look at that.
Because everything is short. You want to watch this video, then you see the thumbnail.
Yep.
Oh, I like that. Click on that.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And you might see something on RT News, and it might say something.
Yeah.
Russian jet shoots at you, and then you click on it,
Yep.
and then you might do a video on that, man.
Netflix is going off the hook, man.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Netflix.
Man, there's so much shit. There's so much shit on, but that's
Yeah.
why they charge more. But
Yeah.
you know, because that's just people are not even going to the movie
To the theaters no more, yeah.
Because everything is streamed now, and these big blockbuster movie companies,
They're going out of business.
They're going right. They're doing the streaming now, man.
Yeah.
Because people want to stay home, man. Say again.
Disney just opened screaming.
Oh yeah. Well, I got the app. I got the app. Yep.
Yeah, they just closed down in Fairfield. They just closed down this major theater.
Yep.
Because
Right.
nobody's going, man.
Yeah.
You know, everybody want to be at home.
Yep.
You know, they got the recliners. They got the thing
Yeah.
like you get the movie recliner.
Yep.
You know, my demon got that movie recliner where you
Recline
can
back,
tuck in,
come-
you
yeah.
slide back, and then you got and now they're selling. You can get a 65, 70 inch TV for like $300.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You know?
forget
Oh, yeah.
about it.
That's
Because
why
you feel like you feel like you're in the movies.
God.
You got this big ass screen right in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the movies now they're trying to sell liquor. They're selling
They're
liquor
trying to
and beer
get
and all
people
that.
back
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there, man.
But the liquor, you get a little can of beer like that for goddamn $8.
And ain't nobody. First of all, when you go in if you're in the hood, when you go to the movie, what do? You sneak shit in. Pop.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yep.
M&M's,
Dark chocolate, sodas.
Sodas. You ain't gonna get no pack of M&M's for
Hell no.
$5.
Nah, hell no. Yeah, on top of that, you got to pay a crazy amount for the ticket.
Yeah.
Then you got to, by the time you finish, one person be $30. You know, popcorn and juji fruits and all that stuff.
You know who would really come off? Families. You say you got a family of 4 children. He said, look, why we got to go to the movies? We got this 70-inch screen here.
Right.
Just get the movie and we will be like at the movies.
Yeah.
Get the surround sound.
Yep.
You feel like you're at the movies.
Then, you know, if you want to use the bathroom, you could pause it.
Yeah, you could
You
pause
don't
it,
miss nothing.
you know.
Go ahead.
This is Titus 2 verse 7. In all things showing thyself a pattern of good works.
Beautiful.
In doctrine showing uncorruptness,
Woo!
gravity, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned.
Yeah, not
it.
John the Baptist. Whatever I say is
Sound speech
He
that
is.
cannot be condemned.
sound speech with
You know,
cannot be-
like these guys that talk shit about us. Tell us specifically what we went off on, man. Huh?
the mark of the
Or
beast.
don't, or just don't watch the videos. If you haters got that goddamn much, watch something else.
Right. That's insanity.
The mark of the beast is sleeping with a white woman. How is that sound speech? And that should be condemned, man.
Right. And it can be condemned.
First of all, the mark of the beast, you got to know who the beast is. The beast wasn't around during the time of King Solomon, man.
Right.
Which shows you that Johanna really don't know the scriptures.
And that's why the scriptures say whose mouths must be stopped. So there's a day when the Lord is going to shut you guys, the Lord is going to shut your mouth up, man. That day is coming.
And what is that? Titus?
Titus, come.
Get Titus 1 and 10 and 11.
Come.
Get that real quick. Go ahead. Go ahead,
It
brother.
says that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you.
Yeah, they can't say nothing about GMS.
Yep, evil thing to say. Oh, I said, y'all almost forgot. Matthew 5:17.
Come.
And if I may say, Apostle, that part in 2 Corinthians 4 and the last part of it, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of the Most High.
Right.
So when we teach, our conscience is, you know you didn't say the right thing, you better go and make it right. Your conscience is supposed to kick in.
Right.
If you know you're teaching lies, your conscience is supposed to be your first judge, not some guy on the outside. Our conscience is supposed to first look, man. You
Examine
broke it down.
yourself.
Yeah, examine yourself. You broke it down wrong. Go back and fix it and make it right. The crime is in not going back and fixing it and make it right.
Well, the thing with, the ISUPK with the whole John the Baptist thing, and now they're tormented by it. You got people, I was watching the last live show with Captain Zarak, Captain Katazak, and you got people calling them about that same question, so they got to keep explaining it. Motherfucker, you got caught out there. Just say that you were wrong.
Right.
You know?
And that shows you they're stupid, because when you lie, you got to come up with a next lie. Lying is complicated. Telling the truth is it's an easy transaction. You tell the truth, that's it.
It's very simple, man. John the Baptist was a man of the Lord. John the Baptist was a foreigner. Oh, he wasn't in the truth because he should have followed Christ. Where the fuck is that in the scriptures? Please tell me, man. Huh?
He
And
just
when
prepared them.
when Judas betrayed him, isn't that in the prophecies?
Yep.
That's
It said,
right.
let another man take his office as bishopric.
That's it.
Yep. That's right. And he fulfilled his
He
office.
fulfilled his lot. Yep.
His lot.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 18. For I testify to every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him plagues that are written in this book. If any man shall take,
And that's what you're in danger of, Go ahead.
and if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, the Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book.
That's it. Now go to Matthew.
Matthew 5 and 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. But verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
Now, does anybody know what a jot is? See if y'all know. Anybody know what a jot? Because I looked it up.
I didn't.
That jot goes to the Hebrew, the first letter of the alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet, which is the Yah. So the Yah, they said jot because of the J.
Right.
If you go to the blue letter, it'll explain it to you.
Come.
That jot goes back to the word Yah, which is the smallest letter of the Hebrew alphabet, you know?
Oh, that's heavy.
Yep.
So in
So
other
he
words,
said not even the smallest part of the
oh,
law.
yeah,
So when they had the Passover 3 days after they're supposed to have it,
right.
that's going off.
It's going way
you know?
off, yeah. Well, and at the Passover, they're going to have women parading themselves, which is going off. And some of those guys, they're
Which
probably,
genders under lust.
yeah, some of those guys, if they meet a woman that night, they're probably going to lay with her. Probably going to have
Well, if
sex
they
with her.
do that, they clearly going off.
Because that's enticing. You know, you got the women all dolled up. You know how Jake is. That's my woman. You
Well,
want to
the old
pop it right away.
Passovers that we had, the last one that we had, they had the women with the, like they were going
Oh, yeah,
to
the
fucking
backless
Oscars,
dresses.
Man, the backless dresses, man.
Yeah.
And that's why the Most High tore down the whole One West school, man.
Yeah, I remember
It
one.
was a whorehouse, man.
That's true.
It was completely out of that school was completely out of order.
Out
man.
of order. I remember one, the Passover of '96, King Marshall was looking at the women, and he lost it. He said, some of the men, they're going to come together and put you to death. I don't know if you remember that.
I mean,
King Marshall was
Well,
up.
Mo was the one that pushed that woman shit in the first place, man.
But I don't
When
know.
he woke up.
He got mad because he was seeing them women floating around, getting up, and he just lost it. I never seen King Marshall like that. He's usually real meek and mild, and he just lost it. Some of the men gonna get together and put you to death. I said, oh shit.
that's when you sent them downstairs, right?
Yeah, the
Well,
women.
yeah.
Yeah. Now you, yeah, man.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
That's Johanna. Not just Johanna, that's anybody that's going off on the scriptures, man.
Come.
And when the rape thing came out, them guys that rejected it, guess what? That's taken away from the book.
Yeah,
So you can be destroyed for that.
yeah.
What do you think? We had nothing better to do. Let's get everybody mad at us. Let's just make up something to get everybody mad at us. No, we did that because it's in the scriptures, man.
They hate him that rebuketh in the gate.
That's thank you. There you go.
It says, but whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
And that ain't written for no reason. You know what that means? You're gonna have guys that teach it but don't do it. That's why that's written there. You're gonna have examples of guys that teach it but don't do it, like the wicked Pharisees and wicked Sadducees in Yahushai's day. Yeah, that's why Yahushai called them hypocrites. Well, and did they love Yahushai for that? No, they wanted to kill him. They made that pact. You know, how can we get him? How can we trap him? You know, and that's why Judas went to them, and Judas said, if I give you, or if you give me, you know, however the deal was made, if you give me money, I'll lure him to, you know the rest of the story.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
It's St. John chapter 8, verse 40. But now ye seek to kill me, a man that hath told you the truth, which I've heard from the Most High.
Yep.
This did not Abraham. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even the Most High.
Yeah, another point that proves we got 100% truth, King Marshall. All of a sudden now the Spirit is coming on us to tell you brothers, look, you see that man in the video? King Marshall, that's King David. And we're not going off, man. We're saying that.
And a lot of those other camps, they're not going to say, you know what Marshall looked like and what Ariel looked like and Yaquad looked like, because we here at Greatmillstone, we put it up on video, man. What other camp or group did that? None of them, because they don't believe that he's
They don't believe it.
King David. You know?
They don't believe it. But yet, back in the day, those same cats took an oath, because we all took an oath, this man is King David.
Yep.
Now, the question is, do those guys still believe that that's King David? No, they don't.
Believe that, because
They
they would
don't
be
believe
teaching it, man. They would speak on it, you know?
And then the prophecy says, Hosea 3 and 4,
Exactly.
you shall seek for David your king. Now, even when we went, and I told the story, when we went to Canada, we ran into this group from Detroit. Those dudes, the dude that looked like Johnny Cochran, he showed us a picture of this old so-called black man, this old, Jake. And he said, look, we believe this guy is King David. And we didn't laugh at the guy, hey, yeah, we got our king. We said, oh, okay, cool, wow. It was cool with that
show
dude.
you that Israel knows that there is going to be a King
David.
You know?
And these dudes, they didn't have the truth, but at least they knew you're going to have a King David. So our question to you other groups out there, who among you is King David? Where's your King David? You got it.
Who's
Where we
reading?
at? Where we at?
I gotta read that real quick. This is Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 24. It says, "And David my servant shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them."
Another thing too, how the hell you gonna build a house of David without David?
Exactly.
Didn't the Lord say go raise up the house of David? So where's David?
It says, "And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have walked."
Where you reading from?
Ezekiel 37, 25.
Good, good.
It says, "Wherein your fathers have walked, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever, and my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant
Now,
with
what's
them."
that? What's that covenant? The new covenant.
The laws, right? Put
The
it up
laws being written
in what
part.
part?
So that means David is going to be back in his seat, but he's going to be back there as Peter.
Right.
You know, because Peter is David.
Peter is David. Yeah, Yahweh Shai said you're gonna sit upon what's that? Matthew 19 and
Yep.
let me get it
12.
scripture.
Yep.
Like Apostle Charles said, get the scripture.
Yep.
Matthew 19 and 27. It says, "Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahweh Shai said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel." I think I should go higher.
27.
Matthew 16 and 19. Matthew 16 and 19. Matthew 16 and 19. That's what I want.
Oh, okay. Okay, you wanted that.
Con. Matthew 16 and 19. Yeah, there it is. "And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the anointed, the Son of the living power. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Yeah.
And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and
Who else
whatsoever."
did he give the keys to? He gave them to David.
Yep.
And he
Right.
gave them to what's the other king?
Wow.
which was David.
Yeah.
Damn.
Forgot his name.
Then it started with an H.
Elihu? There was
Eliakim.
Eliakim. Yeah.
Yep.
Come. Matthew 16 and 19. "And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loose in heaven."
That's right.
And we got those keys.
We got them
Or the
now.
key.
Yeah.
Because we certain guys we kick out, and guess what? They fall off. They don't do good after
No.
that. When we make these decisions, you
Yeah.
know.
Con.
Yeah, they were loosed. It says, whatsoever thou shalt bound in heaven, whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loose in heaven. So they were loose. Like T.G. Jakes, woman, thou art loose. And they were loose, they were kicked out. You said somebody had it.
This is 1 Chronicles 29, verse 20. "And David said to all the congregation, Now bless the Lord your power. And all the congregation blessed the Lord power of their fathers, and bowed down their heads and worshiped the Lord and the king."
The king.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a scripture in the New Testament that says, honor the king. Honor the king.
That's Peter.
Rock 47 and 22. "But the Lord will never
And that
leave."
king was talking about Caesar.
Con.
Oh, okay.
Because you
Oh,
had to respect, for the Caesar.
Yeah,
Caesar,
okay.
And that's why Paul went before
Right.
Felix, and he wanted to go.
That makes sense.
Caesar. Yep.
That makes sense.
Go ahead.
But
Which
the
was
Lord
Claudius, I believe. Go ahead.
But the Lord will never leave off his mercy, neither shall any of his works perish, neither will he abolish the prosperity of his elect, And the seed of him that loveth him he will not take away. Wherefore he gave a remnant unto Jacob, and out of him a root unto David.
Yeah, they said the seed of him. Was that part of the seed of him?
It says, the seed of him that loveth him he will not take away.
Right. So King David's position is already set, no matter what. You know, so the prophet's positions are already set.
And all the men that were back there of David, all the men that were part of David's cabinet, they're all coming back in their
Well,
position.
that's the Amos.
Amos 9:11.
Yep.
And then in Psalms 132nd chapter, it says that there are set thrones, the thrones of David. You know, because you have King David, and then you have the rest of the men that come underneath King David.
Right.
You know, Yahushua, then, you know, you have King David and the rest of the men that come under him, which are all going to be kings.
Yeah, David's mighty men, they're all coming back.
God.
You got it.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
Beautiful.
That's it. You know what ties in with that? Daniel. Read that one. Daniel 12. What the Lord told Daniel.
Yeah, you're not going to have Jeremiah laboring all them times in the past and then come now and lose his position.
All the positions
Yeah,
are
like
set.
John. Like John.
Right.
Yeah.
The water.
Hey, all the positions are set. The Heavenly Father said, once He set your position, that's it. What?
He did predestined.
Yeah, predestined.
He did predestined Ephesians. Yep.
Yahushua said, I have not lost none, save only who? The son of perdition.
That the scripture
So
might
all
be
the
fulfilled.
positions, if you fall, that means there's nothing you can do.
Right.
You were meant to fall out. You know,
Somebody give me Isaiah 9, verse 7.
that's why the Lord, not the Lord. Peter said, not Peter. I'm sorry. Paul said we're prisoners of hope, because one of our hopes is that we're part of that position. We're part of the elect. We're part of the house of David. We're part of the chosen. That's why we give great diligence to make our calling and election sure. You know, Apostle Tarkov.
Isaiah 9, verse 7.
This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 7. Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end.
That's Yahushua. Go ahead.
Upon the throne of David,
Upon the throne of David. Hey, so when Solomon sat on the throne, whose throne did he sit on? He sat on David's throne.
Yeah.
Because the physical king is going to be David, and the spiritual king is going to be in the heavens, which is Yahushua.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
right. That's right.
and upon his kingdom to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever.
So David's going to be in that order forever. You know?
It says, the zeal of the Lord Yahweh of hosts will perform this.
That's right.
Now give me Isaiah 16, verse 5.
Oh, that's a bad one right there.
Isaiah chapter 16, verse
I
5.
read that earlier this week.
And in mercy
Yeah.
shall the throne be established, and he shall sit upon it in truth in the tabernacle of David, judging and seeking judgment and hastening righteousness.
Yahushua.
Got precept?
Go ahead.
This is Psalm 16 and 5. The Lord is the portion of mine inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintainest my lot. The lines are fallen unto me in pleasant places.
Oh, that's heavy, man. Thou maintainest my lot. So we all have a position. No
You're
matter
going
what.
to come back in your position.
Thanks.
That's it.
Now, for Yohanan and them to say that John went off, that he
Oh,
fell
man.
off from the truth, is to say that Elijah went off.
Yeah.
It didn't say nothing that Elijah was going to come and he was going to go off.
Right.
You know?
In other words, Elijah missed, or John missed his position.
Well, no, that proves that the Most High is a liar, that the
Yeah.
Most High is not perfect.
Yeah.
And that proves that the Most High is not perfect. That means the Most High does not exist.
Right.
So the Most High went off? Huh? Go ahead.
This is Psalm 89, verse 34. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips.
That's right.
Once have I sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David. His seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me.
And you know what it means? His seed, meaning the elect, man, starting with the elect. Then it says shall endure forever. So no matter, check this out, brothers, no matter what come their way in the truth, it ain't gonna phase them. They're gonna reach that position.
And
You
your
just read it.
Your position is already set.
Yeah, you just read it. The seed, read that part again if you may.
Yeah, verse 36. His seed shall endure forever.
Endure what? First of all, who was his seed? The ones that were back there with him, part of his cabinet, shall endure forever. Meaning what? In this path of truth. No matter what comes their way, they're gonna make their position. They're going to get their position. That's heavy, what you just read there, man.
Can somebody give me Isaiah? Somebody give me Isaiah 22, verse 22. Go ahead.
Verse 37, it shall be established forever as the moon and as a faithful witness in heaven, Salah.
Yeah, like Esau, he'll give you a position, then when you're at your weakest, he'll take away the position from you. You're like, what the hell? You know, that shows he's the devil. When the Most High give us a position, that's it. It's forever, man.
This is Isaiah chapter 22, verse 22. It says, and the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder, so he shall open, and none shall shut, and he shall shut, and none shall open.
Yeah, so that's talking about the Lord as well. Because he came out of the direct line of King David.
It says,
Which proves that his father, Joseph, came out of the direct line of King. That's another thing that Christians can't get.
it says, and I will fasten him as a nail.
Kind of like when Vocab came up and we tried with his people, and we were trying to make them see it, and they just couldn't see it, man.
Yeah.
They said everything came up with every explanation, and they just couldn't see it. So I said, look, man, this is a waste of time of us even talking.
That's right.
It says, and I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place.
So nothing ain't going to move that individual. Nothing.
And he shall be for a glorious throne to his father's house.
Woo.
And they shall hang upon him all the glory of his father's house, the offspring and the issue, all vessels of small quantity, from the vessels of cups, even to all the vessels of flagons.
That's why the scriptures speak about the glory of this house will be a lot greater than the former house. So the house of David, guys, that's going to be one hell of a house. My goodness. Now the
Yeah, as vast and as powerful as the house of David was, and then King Solomon,
yeah.
our kingdom is going to be greater than that.
Yeah, man. Think about the kingdom of David. That set the stage for the kingdom of Solomon. You know, the house of David.
It says, in that day, save the Lord Yahweh of hosts, shall the nail that is fastened in the sure place be removed and be cut down and fall, and the burden that was upon it shall be cut off, for the Lord Yahweh had spoken.
I got one. Zechariah 12:8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angel of the Lord before them. And that's why it says in Haggai that the latter end of this house shall be greater than the beginning.
Wait a minute.
No.
When the Apostle Paul, when he was stoned and he was going up to the spirit world, he said he saw things that he couldn't utter with his
Putting the word.
So he just read the glory of the house of David is going to be like the glory of what? The
As
Most
the
High.
Most High, yeah. As
Put
the
it
angels
together,
of
you
the
know?
Lord before them.
Yeah. So that's going to be one hell, right here on earth, man.
Glorious.
Yeah.
And that's why Esau is over there in the land of Israel. That's why the Rothschilds set that whole thing up.
Yeah.
Because they figure if they can be in that position, that they can get them blessings.
Ain't gonna happen.
And then they accuse us day and night. But they're going to lose.
They want those
They're
blessings.
going to lose, man.
You wanted Esau, but you ain't going to get it.
Yes, can't get it.
Go ahead.
This is Revelation
And this is
chapter,
going to be the last one. We're going to close it.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth. I know thy works, behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength and kept my word, and hast not denied my name.
Right, our little struggle is the fact that we kept the word.
Not the
Our power is his word, man.
And knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times, the strength of salvation.
That's right.
Not denied our name. Wait a minute. Nate denied the name.
He made fun of
But
the
we
name.
know the name.
He made
We know
fun
the
of the
name.
name.
We know the name through the spirit, man. The Most High's name is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shah. Anyway, with that, we're going to say Shalom. We out of here.
Shalom.
Yeah, out of here.